Chapter 2609. Friend, please wait for the good news. The owner of the recipe will give you a reply after making his decision. Oh, may I know your name? The appraiser said politely. He could not afford to offend someone who could take out 3 azure spirit pills at once. He must be a divine king with heaven-defying strength. Even if the sect lords of the 10 great sects of the Chilean boundary were here, the azure spirit pill would be enough to move them. Chen Jiang. Then, Jiang Chen turned around and left. This time, if nothing goes wrong, this pill formula should be ours. Ji Ningqi said proudly. An immortal-grade detoxification pill and an immortal-grade spiritual tempering pill. Ha! Shen Feng he was also happy. This time, their Shaning sect would be able to avenge themselves. 2 wind and cloud pills should be enough. In the corner, a teenager murmured with confidence. Even though he couldn't concoct the 9 Supreme Saint Bones pill right now, he was extremely tempted by the pill formula. He had to get it no matter what. When Jiang Chen returned to the auction hall, the host stood on the stage and said with a loud voice, "I hereby announce that the recipe of the 9 Supreme Saint Bones pill is won by Chen Jiang." How could this be? 2 wind and cloud pills? Not enough to tempt the mastermind? The youth's face was filled with shock. To him, 2 wind and cloud pills was already a huge bet, but he still failed in the end. Impossible. How could this be? Could it be that this Chen Jiang is more valuable than the pills we took out? Ji Ningqi was shocked. However, the final result was obviously not the Shening sect. Ji Ningqi's face turned pale. 3 failures had made him lose his face in front of his disciples. It's just an accident. Elder, you don't have to blame yourself. It's not your fault. Shen Feng he said in a low voice. Ji Ningqi turned around and fiercely slapped Shen Feng he's face. At this time, Ji Ningqi wanted to lose his temper. Since I didn't get the formula, I must get these 5 celestial grade elixirs. Ji Ningqi clenched his fists, and his eyes became colder. Shen Fenghe was beaten badly, but he knew what Ji Ningqi wanted to do. The worry in Jiang Chen's heart gradually disappeared. He had finally obtained the peak immortal grade herb formulage. Just as Jiang Chen was about to retrieve the pill formula, he was stopped by the appraiser. Mr. Chen Jiang, the person behind the recipe would like to meet you. Is it convenient for you? Sure. Jiang Chen didn't say much. Under the guidance of the appraiser, they arrived at a quiet little house. The bamboo forest outside the window, the slanting moon in front of the window, the faint chirping of birds and the fragrance of flowers, accompanied by a faint incense burner on the table. Behind the incense burner was a screen with a fierce tiger on the window. Friend, I have a question. Are you the one who refined the azure spiritual pill? A deep voice was heard in Jiang Chen's ears. No, Jiang Chen said. Then, can you find the person who refined the pill? The voice continued to ask. Mister, you're so resourceful. Why do you need a nobody like me to help you? Jiang Chen said with a smile. What do you mean? To be able to take out such a precious peerless pill formula, the person must not be an ordinary person. Even if someone was willing to take it out for auction, the 1,000 City auction house would be the first to keep it, but they didn't do so. Taking a step back, this pill formula will definitely cause a huge commotion. Even if it's in your hands, you won't be able to keep it. Although the 9 Supreme Saint Bones pill is powerful and mysterious, it's like a piece of scrap paper if you can't refine it. Furthermore, there aren't many people who view the divine origin stone as nothing. Coincidentally, you're one of those people. Jiang Chen said with a smile. So you know who I am? The voice was still deep. I know. Jiang Chen said. Since our identities are different, our concerns are naturally different. The 9 Supreme Saint Bones pill is indeed useless in my hands. You're a smart man. I only have one question for you. Can you cure the nether cold poison? The man sighed and his expression turned solemn. Jiang Chen thought for a while and said with a low voice, difficult, difficult, difficult. He knew who this person was. His identity was also clear, but he didn't say it out loud. In reality, he didn't know how confident he was, but he still didn't want to get involved in this mess. As for whether it was him or someone else who was poisoned by the nether cold poison, Jiang Chen didn't want to know. His current strength wasn't enough for him to look down on everyone. Therefore, Jiang Chen didn't want to get involved in the whirlpool of experts. All right, just pretend that nothing happened today. I'll accept the Azure Spirit Pill. Thank you, little friend. Forget about it, forget about it. The man's voice sounded like he was hypnotized. However, how strong was Jiang Chen's soul? How could he be hypnotized? He still pretended to be hypnotized. After a while, there was no one behind the screen. Hand over the thing in your hands and you can leave safely. 4 men in black blocked Xueqi way. Even though their faces were covered, Xueqi's eyes were unusually bright. He had already guessed who they were. If I'm not wrong, you should be an expert from the Shening sect, right? Xueqi sneered. It doesn't matter who we are. Hand over the pill and you can be spared from death. Otherwise, don't blame us for being ruthless. The man in black shouted. Xueqi shook his head in disdain. These people should be from the Shening sect. However, he couldn't do anything about it since they didn't want to admit it. I don't believe that you dare to be so presumptuous in Lingju City. Xueqi pointed at the man in black and said, since you're so stubborn, don't blame me for being ruthless. The man in black was filled with killing intent. The 4 of them attacked Xueqi with all their might. Set up a formation to isolate the ripples of divine origin energy. The black-clothed man bellowed. The 4 of them joined forces and set up a formation that isolated the fluctuation of divine power. Xueqi's expression was cold. He seemed to realize that these people had come prepared. Humph. I'd like to see your true colors. Xueqi roared in anger. He was not afraid at all. The battle between the 5 of them was isolated from the ripples of divine origin energy. No one noticed it. Xueqi couldn't fight against 4 of them at all. He couldn't fight back at all. In the end, he was suppressed by the 4 men in black. Even a divine king couldn't stop them. Puff! Xueqi spurted out a mouthful of blood. He looked terrible. At this moment, he could feel their killing intent. You want the pill? Wishful thinking. I'll never give it to you even if I die. Despicable fella. Your Shening sect will die a horrible death. You're still so arrogant even though you're about to die. Looks like you don't know how suffocating it is to be alive. The man in black said coldly. Chapter 26:10. Xueqi was forced to take a few steps back as the terrifying fist pierced through the void. However, he was in a dilemma as the surrounding divine power was sealed. It was impossible for him to be discovered. Am I, Xueqi, destined to die here? Xueqi looked up to the sky and let out a long sigh. When Jiang Chen walked past this place, his eyes turned cold. Others might not be able to see through the ripples of the formation, but as a great master of formation, Jiang Chen could see through it with just a single glance. This was definitely not a high-level formation, but it was able to fool people for a short period of time. This meant that something unspeakable was happening here. Jiang Chen was a master of formation. Jiang Chen knew that he wasn't some kind of righteous sage, but he still had to step in when he saw injustice on the road. Jiang Chen had an idea and he set up a maze on top of the formation. Such a trashy formation. Watch me break it with my fist. The corner of Jiang Chen's mouth curved upwards. With a punch, the formation was instantly broken. The 4 men in black's expressions changed. Who is it? The man in black shouted. How dare you kill people in Lingju City? It seems like you really don't put Lingju City in your eyes. Jiang Chen crossed his arms and stood in front of the man in black. His appearance had given Xueqi a ray of hope. It's you? A surprised voice was heard and Jiang Chen squinted his eyes. It seems like someone I know? Let me guess who it is. There aren't many people in Lingju City who know me. Only an expert from the Shening sect would be able to do such a despicable and cunning thing. Jiang Chen said confidently. It seems like we have the same thought. Now you have to admit it. Xueqi gritted his teeth and looked at the 4 men in black. Originally, I didn't want to go on a killing spree, but you've ruined my plans. Now you can die with me. Jiningqi flew into a rage out of shame. Although he did not admit it, he did not deny it either. Shen Fenghe, this idiot, let the other party catch a loophole and saw through their identity at a glance. Silencing them? Let's see if you have the ability. Jiang Chen stared at Jiningqi and the others as he said faintly. Where does a late heavenly god get his confidence from? Today, I'll let you see what it means to say that there's always someone stronger. Jiningqi's strength had already reached the mid-divine king realm. Even Xueqi was defeated by him. However, he had also consumed a lot of his energy. After all, Xueqi was fighting with his life on the line. Ji Ningqi's palm strike was like a thunderbolt. It was the first time for Jiang Chen to witness the terror of a mid-divine king realm expert. Jiang Chen instantly unleashed his dragon transformation and threw a punch that was as powerful as a tsunami. However, he was still pushed back by Ji Ningqi. I can't defeat him. This fella is still very strong. Jiang Chen thought. He did not have the mood to fight Ji Ningqi at all. Moreover, his life was worthless. Kid, to think that you can withstand my palm strike. Not bad. Not bad. Ji Ningqi was shocked. This fella did not defeat Shen Fenghe by luck. He was truly strong. Grandpa, I'll play with you. Jiang Chen sneered. He instantly pulled Xueqi out of the formation. Where do you think you're going? Ji Ningqi and the other three followed closely. However, they could not find any trace of Jiang Chen at all. Everything around them had changed. How is it? Do you feel lost? Kid. Ha! Jiang Chen said with a big laugh. Shen Yingqi and the others could only hear his voice but couldn't see him. You trapped them in the formation? Xueqi looked at Jiang Chen in surprise. It's just an ordinary maze, Jiang Chen said with a smile. Xueqi was shocked. Not only did this person save him, he was also not an ordinary person. Just a simple sentence and it was just a maze? How could an ordinary maze trap a mid-divine king realm expert? Moreover, he was only a late heavenly god. He knew that Lingju City was in a turbulent time and the trip to the Thunder Rush Sea was imminent. This fella must be a peerless genius from some great sect. Damn you! Jiang Chen, come out and fight me to the death if you have the guts. Ji Ningqi roared in anger. However, he could not find the exit of the maze. Aren't you too shameless? You're a divine king, yet you want to fight me, a heavenly god, to the death? Have you eaten all the shameless pills in the world? You're a disgrace to the Shaning sect. Old fart, since you want to play, I'll play with you. Jiang Chen's eyes turned cold. He knew that he couldn't kill anyone in Lingju City. He didn't want to get himself into trouble. He knew it very well. 5 Elemental True Fire. Release. Let me see your faces. Jiang Chen shouted in anger. He must teach them a lesson. The 5 Elemental True Fire instantly engulfed the entire maze formation. The 4 people's clothes were burnt to a crisp. Jiang Chen finally saw their faces. It was Shen Yingqi and the others. Xueqi stared at this scene with his mouth wide open. This fella, such a powerful technique. The 5 Elemental True Fire was terrifying. Even he felt fearful. In the maze, Shen Yingqi and the others had no way to escape. Their clothes were all burnt and the 4 of them were naked. Jiang Chen couldn't help but laugh. Even Xueqi lips curved into an arc, feeling very satisfied. Jiang Chen, I'll kill you. This is an irreconcilable enmity. Ji Ningqi's face was burnt to ashes. He could only use his divine origin energy to protect himself. Fortunately, Jiang Chen did not use the essence of the 5 Elemental True Fire. Otherwise, they would be burnt to death by Jiang Chen after a day and night. Take care of yourself first. I don't have the habit of looking at naked men. I'm afraid that I'll get a pinprick if you guys are willing to show it to me. Ha! Jiang Chen and Xueqi laughed as they left. Ji Ningqi and the others were humiliated. They were furious but they could only swallow their anger. After all, they were the ones who started the whole thing. Brother Jiang, thank you for saving my life. I, Xueqi, will never be able to repay you in this lifetime. Xueqi knelt down on one knee. His words were filled with gratitude and gratitude. It's all right. This is what people like them deserve. If we weren't in Lingju City, I would have burnt them to death. Although Jiang Chen's words were calm, Xueqi was speechless. This fella is really a decisive person. Although he's only a late heavenly god, he's really powerful. If you don't mind, just call me Brother Xue. You can look for me in the Xue family if you need anything in the future. Although the Xue family is not considered as a superpower in the Qilian region, we will definitely not disappoint Brother Jiang. All right. Chapter 26:11. Jiang Chen's senses were sharp. When the youth caught up to him, he already knew. However, he did not expose him. He did not know the youth's identity, but this person must have a motive for following him. Jiang Chen purposely walked to a secluded place and lured the youth over. Come out. Jiang Chen said faintly. You can actually sense my presence. Young man, you're not simple. The youth said like an old man. His expression was calm. However, Jiang Chen knew that the youth was definitely not a kid. How did you find me? What do you want? Jiang Chen furrowed his brows. He couldn't figure out why this guy had appeared. I'm also an alchemist, the youth said in a low voice. What does that have to do with me? Jiang Chen smiled. I'm guessing that you're also an alchemist. The youth was very calm. His words gave Jiang Chen quite a bit of pressure. This guy did not come with good intentions. I have no ill intentions. I just want to know what you used to exchange for the peak immortal grade pill formula. You even know this? Jiang Chen looked at the youth in shock. Their eyes met. Jiang Chen could see the clarity in the youth's eyes. He did not look like a cunning person. I can feel the pill essence on your body and the aura of the fire element. Moreover, the aura is very special. You're not strong, but to have such an aura, you must be an alchemist. Frankly speaking, you want the pill formula, right? Jiang Chen shook his head and sighed. Yes and no, the youth said after a moment of silence. Have a match with me. If I lose, I'll give you something. If I win, then give me the 9 Supreme Saint Bones pill formula. Are you so sure that I have the pill formula with me? Hee. Jiang Chen shook his head with a smile on his face. He didn't know where this young man came from, but how could he be so confident? This really confused him. Sounds fair. Tell me about your wager. A Saint Spirit pill. It was effective on anyone below the hierarch realm in a short period of time. It was a life-saving pill. Mid-immortal grade pill. As soon as the young man finished his words, Jiang Chen squinted his eyes. To be honest, he was a little tempted. Although this middle immortal grade pill might not be that monstrous, it was able to increase one's battle strength in a short period of time. One could imagine how terrifying the God Yuan energy contained within the Holy Spirit pill was. Even though some pills were heaven-defying, it was extremely difficult to forcefully raise one's strength. Not only could it deal with a temporary crisis, the value of this pill was immeasurable. That's not enough. It's far from enough. You should know that my stake is a peak immortal grade pill formula, while yours is merely an immortal grade pill formula. There's no comparison at all. Jiang Chen knew that the young man was determined to get the 9 Supreme Saint Bones pill. Then, he would let the young man increase his wager. That way, Jiang Chen would still be interested in fighting him. Don't push your luck. Although the 9 Supreme Saint Bones pill is of a high grade, not to mention the current you, even if you reach the peak Divine King realm or even the Hierarch realm, you might not be able to concoct it. It's useless to you. The value of this Holy Spirit pill is definitely higher than you can imagine. It can save your life. The young man's face slightly darkened. He was unwilling to accept the pressure from Jiang Chen. All right, then I'll take a step back. I want the Holy Spirit pill formula. Is that okay? If you're not willing, then forget it. Jiang Chen shrugged his shoulders as if he didn't care. Don't think that I'm giving you a chance. It's easy for me to kill you. Kid, don't be so shameless. However, as a pill master, I don't like to use force. The young man's cold expression once again gathered on his face as he stared at Jiang Chen. Forget it. Then we'll go our separate ways. Jiang Chen turned around and left without hesitation. You should know that the Holy Spirit pill cannot be overused. If a person takes 3 Holy Spirit pills, his potential and life force will be exhausted. It's not a good thing to forcefully increase his strength. I'm doing this for your own good. No need. You. All right. I promise you. I'll give you the Holy Spirit pill formula. I, Zhang Tianming, am a man of my words. Zhang Tianming gritted his teeth. However, he still got what he wanted. He could compete with Jiang Chen in pill concoction. Casually concoct an immortal grade pill. Let's see who takes the shortest time and has the best quality. It shouldn't be hard, right? Zhang Tianming's face was full of arrogance as he smiled faintly, as if he was certain that Jiang Chen would win. Sure. Jiang Chen nodded. Right here, with the sky as the cover and the earth as the furnace. Zhang Tianming took out his furnace with a flip of his hand. The furnace had 9 dragons on it, green and red in color. The carvings on it were exquisite. This furnace is called the Heaven-Shaking Furnace. It's made from the blood of 9 demonic beasts with the dragon attribute. After 49 years, It was refined with the Samadhi True Fire. It's a furnace that can help pills form quickly. It has the aura of a dragon. It's miraculous beyond words, Zhang Tianming said with a smile. He was very fond of his alchemy furnace. Let's begin. Jiang Chen's expression was calm as he nodded at Zhang Tianming. The moment he turned around, Jiang Chen's hand burned with the 5-elemental true fire. Zhang Tianming instantly felt the suffocating aura. However, when he turned around, there was already a spirit-severing life-prolonging pill in Jiang Chen's hand. At that moment, Zhang Tianming stared at Jiang Chen and the pill in his hand, dumbfounded. You're done? Zhang Tianming had just opened the furnace, and when he felt Jiang Chen's terrifying flame, Jiang Chen was already holding the spirit-severing life-prolonging pill in his hand, looking at him calmly. You should know better than me whether or not this pill was refined just now. Jiang Chen wasn't worried that this guy would think that he had prepared it beforehand. It's true that refining an immortal-grade pill is complicated, but the most important thing is that the moment the pill is formed, there must be an aura lingering around the pill. This spirit-severing life-prolonging pill was exactly like that. Although Zhang Tianming didn't believe it, he couldn't help but look at Jiang Chen in shock. How is this possible? Zhang Tianming said in a low voice. His face was full of disbelief. However, the truth was right in front of him. He couldn't help but believe it. As an alchemist, he couldn't deny that this pill was refined by Jiang Chen in a short period of time. You can't do it, but it doesn't mean that others can't do it. Remember this sentence: there will always be someone better than you in the world. Jiang Chen looked at Zhang Tianming with a condescending attitude. This was the gap between their strengths. Jiang Chen was already familiar with concocting the spirit-severing life-prolonging pill. Now that he was stronger, it was not impossible for him to concoct a single pill in a short period of time. Jiang Chen looked at Zhang Tianming in disdain. It wasn't that Zhang Tianming hadn't seen people concoct pills before. Even the lightning bolts could be hidden. He wasn't an inexperienced person. Whether it was the speed, the control of the pill, the control of the fire, or the strength, they all needed to reach the extreme to be able to do it. He had only seen 2 people with this kind of ability. Chapter 26:12. Zhang Tianming didn't act shamelessly. From the moment he decided to compete with Jiang Chen in alchemy, he had already made up his mind. However, he didn't think that he would be the one to lose in the end. Moreover, he lost so thoroughly that the two of them couldn't even be compared. This was because Jiang Chen's flame was too terrifying. Before he could even see Jiang Chen's flame, he had already finished concocting. It wasn't that Zhang Tianming couldn't afford to lose. He had walked step by step from the northern Cold Divine Prefecture to where he was today in order to find materials and methods to concoct pills. Only by constantly learning from others could he become a true master of alchemy. Jiang Chen's uncanny skill of concocting pills had shocked Zhang Tianming and made him wholeheartedly accept his loss. This is the recipe for the Holy Spirit pill. Zhang Tianming didn't continue to argue with Jiang Chen. This was his choice and also his conceit. From the moment he started to concoct the pill, he thought that his victory was already in his grasp. However, just as he was about to concoct the pill, his opponent had already succeeded. Moreover, the quality of the spirit-severing life-prolonging pill was something that he couldn't surpass. He could also concoct the spirit-severing life-prolonging pill, but the amount of heaven and earth treasures consumed and the success rate would definitely not be the same. More importantly, Jiang Chen had succeeded in one try. One should know that this was a genuine immortal-grade pill. Many thanks. Jiang Chen faintly smiled and glanced at it. He accepted the recipe of the Holy Spirit pill. As expected, it was extraordinary. However, this Holy Spirit pill hurt 1,000 enemies and oneself 800. This Holy Spirit pill is extremely harmful to the body. It consumes one's potential and profound qi. Unless it's absolutely necessary, it's better not to use it. Although Zhang Tianming lost, he lost in a very magnanimous manner. Moreover, he completely told Jiang Chen about the dangers of the Holy Spirit pill. He could have used force to fight for it, but in his heart, a respectable opponent was more precious than anything else. Therefore, Zhang Tianming didn't lose miserably. Moreover, he had won Jiang Chen's respect. I know what I'm doing. I'm Jiang Chen. See you later. Losing to you, I wholeheartedly accept my loss. However, I will not be left behind by you. Furthermore, with my strength, I will soon be able to refine high immortal-grade medicinal pills. If I were to refine high immortal-grade medicinal pills, you might not be able to defeat me. However, I'm afraid that your strength is simply insufficient. Zhang Tianming laughed self-mockingly. From the start, he had never thought of taking advantage of Jiang Chen. However, he was convinced that he had lost to Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen left, but Zhang Tianming's heart could not calm down. He claimed to be the #1 alchemy prodigy of the Northern Cold Divine region, yet he lost to an unknown fella whose strength was not even at the Divine King realm. It was indeed funny and sad. I thought that my skill in alchemy would allow me to dominate the younger generation. If I don't enter the Central Region Divine Land, I won't be able to find a worthy opponent. To think that I would meet my greatest challenge in this small Qilian region. Jiang Chen, I will remember you. Zhang Tianming turned around and left. His back looked lonely, but there was no sign of defeat. Losing once did not mean that he would lose for the rest of his life. He still had a long future ahead of him. Losing to Jiang Chen might not be a bad thing. Moreover, he was going to the Central Region Divine Land. That was the place where all the alchemy prodigies gathered. He believed that he would be able to amaze the world with a single brilliant feat. Jiang Chen did not return to the inn immediately. Instead, he found a secluded mountain in the outskirts of the city. He wanted to refine 108 supreme divine tools. Once they were refined by Jiang Chen, they would become heavenly divine tools. Then, the power of the Little Ashura sword formation would be unparalleled. Jiang Chen took out the azure cloud gold and the cold iron that he obtained from the Tianqi mountain range and started his refinement. Time passed by. Jiang Chen did not dare to be careless. It was not easy to refine 108 supreme divine tools into heavenly divine tools. Jiang Chen needed to work hard on each and every one of them. Moreover, it was a good chance to test if his refining technique had improved. Jiang Chen concentrated and used the myriad qi cauldron as the furnace to refine the divine tools. The 5 elemental true fire's refinement made the divine tools even more dazzling. Jiang Chen spent 3 days and 3 nights to refine all 108 supreme divine tools. Every sword had become a genuine heavenly divine tool. After being refined and cast by the myriad qi cauldron, they had become peerless and peerless divine tools. Jiang Chen held the divine sword in his hand and the light in his eyes became brighter and brighter. His heart was filled with the will to conquer the heavens. He did not know how strong his Little Ashura sword formation would be with the 108 heavenly divine tools. However, at least he was not afraid of Divine King realm experts. Even Hierarch realm experts might not be able to withstand the power of the Little Ashura sword formation. It all depended on whether Jiang Chen could complete the counterattack. After all, no one would sit and wait for death. Jiang Chen held the Hammer of Storm and the Hammer of Meteor in his hands. These 2 hammers were heavenly divine tools. However, this time, Jiang Chen planned to refine them with the azure cloud gold. Another day passed by quietly. The 2 hammers in Jiang Chen's hands shone with dazzling golden light again. The quality of the hammers had also changed. They had reached the quality of the peak heavenly divine tool. However, if he wanted to break through to the origin divine tool, Jiang Chen could not achieve it. He could only refine the peak heavenly divine tool at most. Sigh, in the end, I still can't refine the origin divine tool. Jiang Chen shook his head helplessly. He was very disappointed with himself. Little did he know that being able to refine heavenly divine tools, even in a place like the Lone Dragon County, was highly sought after by the major sections. Countless sects and forces would come to invite him like fish crossing the river. However, Jiang Chen was very dissatisfied. He could refine heavenly divine tools now, but he could not refine a peak heavenly divine tool. Moreover, he did not have the real peerless materials. The reason why he could make the Hammer of Storm and the Hammer of Meteor reach the peak heavenly divine tool was because the materials of the 2 heavenly divine tools were quite heaven-defying. In addition, Jiang Chen had received the craftsman god's strength and the myriad qi cauldron. After refining the tool, Jiang Chen took out the 9 supreme Saint Bones pill. This was a peak immortal grade pill. He definitely could not refine it now. Moreover, the first thing that was required was the bones of a god emperor. Jiang Chen could not help but smack his lips. No wonder even that fella felt powerless and abandoned this pill. Who could obtain the bones of a god emperor? Even if they could obtain it, who could refine the 9 supreme Saint Bones pill? Bones of a god emperor, ethereal flower, purple fragrant konjac. Chapter 26:13. Jiang Chen kept the prescription. It was impossible for him to concoct this pill in a short period of time. Even if he managed to find the flower of spirit and the purple aromatic konjac, where could he find the Emperor God skeleton? A fallen Emperor God would remain immortal for tens of thousands of years. The power of the Emperor God skeleton was not something that he could touch. The current Jiang Chen was well aware of his own limitations. In the next 2 days, Jiang Chen searched everywhere in the city. Finally, he was not disappointed. He managed to gather all the ingredients needed to concoct the Saint Spirit pill. Finally, he managed to concoct 5 Saint Spirit pills, and the success rate was 50%. The value of the Saint Spirit pill was similar to the Azure Spirit pill, but it was much easier to concoct than the Azure Spirit pill. After all, increasing one's strength was the way to go. The value of the Azure Spirit pill was slightly better. This Holy Spirit pill should be considered as a precious pill. I wonder if it's really harmful to the body. Jiang Chen looked at the Holy Spirit pill in his hand with interest. He was not afraid of the side effects of the Holy Spirit pill as he had a terrifying recovery ability. Jiang Chen was well aware of this. Although Zhang Tianming had described it as terrifying, Jiang Chen did not care about it at all. To others, the side effects might be unavoidable. But to him, it was just a piece of cake. Such a strong fluctuation of the formation. Jiang Chen stood on the peak of the mountain and looked towards Lingju City. He could feel a terrifying force from the formation, which seemed to be continuously consuming the repairing power of the formation around the teleportation formation. Moreover, the force of the formation came and went without a trace. If it wasn't for the no-beginning formation, it would be almost impossible for Jiang Chen to discover the intricate and complicated formation. Someone is trying to destroy the teleportation formation. Jiang Chen narrowed his eyes. Could it be that they wanted to stop them from going to the Thunder Rush Sea? Although this assumption might be his own wishful thinking, Jiang Chen felt that there must be something fishy about this matter. Otherwise, this hidden array formation wouldn't be so terrifying. It could sever the repair power of the teleportation array formation, causing the teleportation array formation to be difficult to repair. In this way, no one could use the teleportation array formation. When Jiang Chen returned to the inn, it was already time for them to leave. Dong Huang Xueqi did not question Jiang Chen too much during this period of time. After all, they were about to enter the transmitting formation and no one wanted to cause any trouble. I'm very sorry, everyone. The teleportation array hasn't been fixed yet. It might be difficult to use it in a short period of time. Several of our formation masters are currently repairing it. A formation grandmaster said in a deep voice. His face was solemn. Many people were shocked that the teleportation formation couldn't be used. The people of the 10 major sects were shocked. They had waited for a few days and the teleportation formation still couldn't be used? How could they not be angry? Although they were angry, it was an indisputable fact that the formation couldn't be used. Then what should we do? Are we going to cancel the trip to the Thunder Rush Sea? Yes, we have been here for so long, but you said that the teleportation array can't be used? How could this work? The teleportation array must have been deliberately destroyed by someone. They want to obstruct us during the trip to the Thunder Rush Sea. Who's the one who's not? What are you formation masters doing? You still can't repair the teleportation array after such a long time. Are we going to wait for you here forever? Looking at this scene, Jiang Chen was even more certain of his conjecture. There must be someone who wanted to destroy the teleportation formation and didn't want them to use it. That's why there was a secret formation that kept corroding the teleportation formation that was in the process of being repaired. Because of this, the efforts of these formation masters were like a cup of water on a burning cart of firewood. If this goes on, the damaged array will never be repaired, just like how a wooden bucket leaks. Jiang Chen's worry became a reality. It seems like the formation can't be used in a short period of time. Our plan to use the teleportation array to go to the Thunder Rush Sea is ruined? Dong Huang Taiji said in a deep voice. Then what can we do? It seems like we can't go to the Thunder Rush Sea if the formation can't be repaired. Murong Yun said in a low voice. Her eyes were filled with worry. This is the first time I've heard of such a thing. Long Xinghua nodded silently and looked at Murong Yun and the others. Brother Dong Huang, what do you think? Long Xiaotan propped his chin on his hand and pondered. Currently, 6 or 7 of the 10 great sects had arrived here. Everyone from each sect was filled with righteous indignation. However, the teleportation array hadn't been repaired yet, so there was nothing they could do. Although I don't want to think that this is a conspiracy, I still think that this might have happened because the 10 great sects are going to the Thunder Rush Sea. This might be the reason why the teleportation array was destroyed. Dong Xueqi said faintly. This formation must have been done by someone on purpose. If we can't find a way to fix it, we might be stuck in Lingju City. Our plan to go to the Thunder Rush Sea would be ruined. Jiang Chen said. It's easy for you to say. The person who could destroy the teleportation array must be a top-notch Divine King Realm expert. Moreover, the teleportation array was destroyed and the 6 formation masters could not do anything about it. This is a serious matter. Chu Tianshu Lunglung said. Everyone on the scene was incomparably angry, but they were powerless to do anything. The formation was destroyed. Everyone was extremely anxious. The people of the 10 major sects were anxiously waiting here. If they couldn't go to the Thunder Rush Sea, they would miss out on too many things. Why is there no one from the Heavenly Profound sect or the Killing Luo sect here? Long Xiaotan suddenly realized a serious problem. Yeah, there's no news about the Heavenly Profound sect or the Killing Luo sect since we entered Lingju City. Dong Xueqi also felt that something was wrong. The 2 great sects should not be absent from such a grand trip to the Thunder Rush Sea. However, they did not appear in Lingju City at all. Could it be that this formation was done by the Heavenly Profound sect and the Killing Luo sect? Is it to prevent the other sects from entering the Thunder Rush Sea? Long Xiaotan's scalp went numb when he thought of this. The Heavenly Profound sect was ranked first, the true leader of the Chilean boundary sections. The Killing Luo sect's actions were strange, second only to the Heavenly Profound sect. These 2 sects were above the Eastern Emperor sect. If these 2 powerful forces were to gather together, it would be quite terrifying. How powerful are the Heavenly Profound sect and the Killing Luo sect? Jiang Chen looked at Dong Xueqi. Chapter 26:14. If the 2 sects join forces, I'm afraid that they will be invincible in the entire Chilean boundary. However, the Heavenly Profound sect has always been a righteous sect while the Killing Luo sect has always acted strangely. Logically, the 2 sects will never meet. Dong Xueqi frowned. This was just their guess. No one knew if it was true or not. There are no eternal friends, and there are no eternal enemies. In the face of absolute benefits, anything can happen. Shan Ningqi's expression was extremely ugly, but his words hit the nail on the head. In the face of absolute benefits, anything could happen. This was not a groundless rumor. Otherwise, how can we explain why the 2 sects did not do anything? Long Xiaotan did not want to believe it. However, the 2 sects were pointed at them now. Their trip to the Thunder Rush Sea was going to be ruined soon. Welcome, young city lord. Just as countless people were suspecting each other, a peerlessly handsome young man stepped through the air. His intelligent eyes swept through the void, and his aura soared into the sky. Everyone felt an immense pressure. This person's strength was unfathomable. The white-clothed man was holding a green sword in his hand, and he was holding a feather fan and a silk scarf. His aura and appearance were peerless, and he was definitely the most handsome man in the world. He was even more handsome than Big Yellow, who Jiang Chen thought was the most handsome man in his memory. A purple ribbon was wrapped around his waist, a white jade pendant accompanied by purple eyes. He looked evil and peerless. More than 100 half-step Divine King Realm guards surrounded the white-robed man. Dragon Qi surged out, retreating in all directions. Everyone, I am the young city lord of Lingju City, Zishi. My father is very sad that the teleportation formation was destroyed this time. Even the 6 formation masters could not do anything about it. I'm really sorry. Zishi said faintly as he stared at the void with unparalleled arrogance. Young city lord, we don't mean to cause trouble. However, if the teleportation formation is not repaired, I'm afraid that we will have to return empty-handed. I'm not willing to accept this. Yeah, I'm not willing to accept this. We came all the way here just to go to the Thunder Rush Sea. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I never thought that it would be so sad this time. Young City Master, we want to know why the Heavenly Profound sect and the Killing Luo sect did not come to Lingju City. Could it be that the 2 sects really sent people to destroy this teleportation array? Young City Lord, please give us justice. There were many people from the 8 sects, and some of them wanted to leave Lingju City as soon as possible. Without the help of the teleportation array, they would be trapped in Lingju City temporarily. Who would be willing to wait for death? Jiang Chen glanced at the white-robed young master Xueqi. Indeed, Xueqi's strength was unparalleled. His strength had probably reached the late Divine King Realm or even the peak Divine King Realm. Everyone present was afraid of him. Xueqi looked at the sky and did not say anything. Suddenly, he slashed out with his sword and cut through the sky. The Saiyan sword shadow was like a beam of light, cutting a crack in the sky. Not bad, little doll. Now, your sharp perception is almost catching up to your father's. Ha ha ha, 6 little bastards. You think you can break my spirit-devouring formation? You really overestimate yourself. An arrogant voice reverberated in the air as he easily and cleverly dodged the sword. This voice caused everyone to tremble. Was this transmission array really deliberately destroyed by someone? Who are you? Xueqi pointed his sword at the sky and a cloud of black mist covered the sky above Lingju City. It was as if a demon had arrived. Everyone held their breath and the Divine King Realm experts were on high alert. Jiang Chen could see through the black mist but he could not see the person's face clearly. Even I don't know. Ha ha ha, looks like Zi Qingyun did not mention me to you. I am the Formation Demon, the only Formation Demon in the Lone Dragon County. Under my absolute array, you didn't expect that the teleportation array would be completely destroyed, right? As soon as the Formation Demon appeared, everyone was shocked. The Formation Demon was a terrifying existence even in the entire Lone Dragon County. The Formation Demon was born in the Tianxing boundary. His array skills were terrifying. However, he did not take the usual path and became a demon through arrays. He was called the Formation Demon by the world. Formation Demon. Dong Huang Xueqing's expression became extremely solemn. Master. Who is this Formation Demon? Dong Huang Taiji looked at his master. He killed millions of people in one go and he will not return until he breaks Lu Lan. The Formation Demon, Bai Qi, is the most brutal and bloodthirsty person in the Tianxing boundary. Everyone wants to kill him. Dong Huang Xueqing said word by word. Obviously, the Formation Demon's name was well known in the world. Many people knew about him. Who would have thought that the Formation Demon would take action this time? We have no enmity with this guy. Moreover, Lingju City is the main city of the Qilian boundary. Although this guy is arrogant, I don't think he would dare to challenge the dignity of the city lord. Long Xiaotan was puzzled. In fact, the Formation Demon had issued a challenge to the Lingju City. Destroying the teleportation formation of the Lingju City was not something an ordinary person could do. Jiang Chen recalled what Ji Ningqi said before. There was nothing that could not be achieved under absolute benefits. Even if the Formation Demon took action, it was the same. The Formation Demon had no enmity with the Lingju City. He must have been driven by benefits to destroy the teleportation formation of the Lingju City. This guy has not appeared in the Lone Dragon County for more than 100 years. Now that he has appeared in the Qilian boundary, it will definitely cause a huge commotion. He claimed to be the #1 array master. This Formation Demon Bai Qi is definitely not simple. I am afraid that our trip to the Thunder Rush Sea this time will come to an end. Long Xiaotan said dejectedly. Regardless of the Formation Demon's appearance, it was impossible to repair the teleportation formation now. Just 6 useless people. How dare they call themselves masters? What a joke. Ha! Black fog rose up and turned into a black dragon, soaring into the sky. Xueqi wanted to chase after it but was forced back by the black dragon. In just a moment, the 6 array masters were forced back. The teleportation formation that they had been maintaining became more and more broken. The 6 of them were seriously injured. At this moment, everyone's heart sank. The trip to the Thunder Rush Sea had become an extravagant hope. What a great Formation Demon. Everyone, this guy has made us come to the Lingju City in vain. If we don't teach him a lesson, then how can we, who call ourselves the top sects of the Qilian boundary, face the elders of the Jiangdong sect? That's right. With so many of us, it is not a problem to deal with a Formation Demon. A mere Formation Demon is too arrogant. He dares to go against the Lingju City and the entire Qilian boundary. We will not sit still and wait for death. Kill the Formation Demon to relieve the hatred in our hearts. The voices of killing the Formation Demon became louder and louder. However, the Formation Demon did not seem to care. I alone am enough to kill him. Chapter 26:15. Xueqi flew like a dragon and danced like a phoenix. He turned into an azure dragon and broke through the void. The azure dragon pierced through the black mist. The original black dragon was scattered and the black mist instantly fused back together. That terrifying mist seemed to be immortal. Although Xueqi broke through the mist again and again, he still couldn't defeat Formation Demon Bai Qi. Haha, I've told you can't defeat me. The Formation Demon Bai Qi said coldly. The young city lord's strength is close to the peak of Divine King realm. Even he is not a match for the Formation Demon. Looks like this fella is really hard to deal with. Long Xiaotan shouted. He wanted to take action but was stopped by Dong Huang Xueqi. This Formation Demon is strange. We are not a match for him. Dong Huang Xueqi knew how terrifying the Formation Demon was. So he did not take action immediately. Even the young city lord, Xueqi, could not break through the black mist. Instead, the Formation Demon became more and more arrogant. This is just a shadow. It's not the real body of the Formation Demon. Jiang Chen's soul power rose up and covered the sky. However, it was unrealistic to defeat the Formation Demon with his soul power. This was because he had perfectly combined his doppelganger with the formation. Other than Jiang Chen, no one could tell that this wasn't his real body. What do you mean? Long Xinghua, Dong Huang Taiji and the others stared at Jiang Chen. That's just his shadow. He's trying to confuse the world with the formation. It's not difficult to kill him. Jiang Chen said faintly. Even Dong Huang Xueqi and Long Xiaotan were shocked. Jiang Chen was too arrogant. He was just a late heavenly god while the young city lord was a late divine king. Even he could not defeat the Formation Demon Bai Qi. How could he be so confident? Aren't you afraid of losing your tongue? Humph. You're overestimating yourself. Do you know how terrifying the Formation Demon is? What an arrogant fellow. Ji Ningqi also looked at Jiang Chen with disdain. Jiang Chen's voice wasn't loud, but many people heard it. Some even pointed at the Donghuang sect, thinking that the Donghuang sect was too arrogant to accept such a person as their disciple. It was a disgrace to the Donghuang sect. Kid, are you serious? Chu Tianshu narrowed her eyes and said, killing him is as easy as killing a chicken. It's a piece of cake. Jiang Chen asked himself. In terms of strength, he naturally couldn't compare with the Formation Devil. Even if it was just a phantom, he might not be its opponent. However, the Formation Devil thought that no one could see through his formation. In fact, as long as the formation was broken, then his doppelganger would be vulnerable, and the formation was there to protect him. For Jiang Chen, although the formation was hidden, it was not worth mentioning. The Formation Devil was too arrogant to use such a formation to cover himself up. However, it was true that the 6 formation masters couldn't see through his formation at all. It's the biggest joke in the world. This is the first time I've heard such irresponsible words. How dare you say that the Formation Devil is vulnerable? Then show us how powerful you are. Shen Fenghe sneered and sneered at Jiang Chen. Of course, he could not forget that he was beaten by Jiang Chen. Trash, you're not qualified to talk in front of me. Jiang Chen's words made Shen Fenghe speechless. However, not many people took Jiang Chen's words seriously. They just thought that he was trying to please the crowd. After all, he was just a disciple of the Eastern Emperor sect who was not even a divine king. How dare he talk big in front of so many experts? Who was the Formation Devil? He was an existence that everyone in the Lone Dragon County was afraid of. He killed without blinking an eye. He was cold-blooded and merciless. Wherever he went, there would be nothing left. That was how the name Formation Devil came about. Ha ha ha, is that all you've got? Compared to your father, you're still a long way off. The Formation Devil Bai Qi sneered and said disdainfully to Xueqi. Celestial Sealing Sword. Xueqi's momentum was like a rainbow that shocked the world. However, he couldn't break through the black fog no matter what. Every time he tried, he would return empty-handed. Moreover, he seemed to be able to easily deal with Xueqi with little effort. The sword shadow broke through the sky and shocked countless people. However, in the eyes of the Formation Devil Bai Qi, it did not cause any damage to him. Xueqi Tian still hasn't taken any action. Is he really injured like what the rumors say? The Formation Devil muttered in his heart. If Xueqi Tian were to take action, he would definitely have to run away. However, he was in Lingju City and even his son could not do anything to him. Could it be that Xueqi Tian was just going to watch the show from the sidelines? Young City Lord, let me lend you a hand. Jiang Chen stepped on the air and shocked everyone. However, most of them were filled with sarcasm and mockery. Ha ha ha, this kind of guy also wants to go and make a fool of himself. Has he gone crazy from wanting to be promoted? Does he really think that he's the city lord? He dares to challenge the formation devil. He's courting death. It's a pity. A genius disciple of the Eastern Emperor sect is about to die. Xueqi looked at Jiang Chen and frowned. However, he did not say anything. Many people were making sarcastic remarks. Those who wanted to take action initially were just sitting on the mountain and watching the tigers fight. They did not have any intention to take action at all. In the end, a heavenly god young man came to help him. It sounded so ironic and helpless. You're not his match. Leave now. Otherwise, you'll die. Xueqi did not need Jiang Chen's help. Moreover, he would only be suppressed if he took action. It was impossible for him to affect the formation devil by qi. Donghuang Xueqi and Long Xiaotan looked at each other with an inexplicable expectation, especially when Donghuang Xueqi recalled the moment when Jiang Chen stepped onto the Emperor Extremity Mountain and became the center of attention of the entire Eastern Emperor sect. Even the sect lord could not reach this place, but Jiang Chen could reach it as if it was a flat ground. Donghuang Taiji suddenly understood something. The difference between him and Jiang Chen was not only in terms of strength, but also in their aggressiveness. Even if he knew that he could not defeat Jiang Chen, he would still fight with his life on the line. Jiang Chen did not listen to Xueqi. Instead, he looked at the formation devil by Qi's black mist. You're just a clone. Do you think that you can fool everyone by hiding in the formation? Formation devil. You're too arrogant. Jiang Chen's words made the formation devil by Qi gasp. Who would have thought that a heavenly god young man could see through his formation? Boy, you're courting death. I'm not the one who's courting death. It's someone else. Do you still have the ability to look down on everyone after your formation is broken? It's just a clone. Do you really think that you're a great emperor expert? Jiang Chen sneered. Jiang Chen did not care about the formation devil by Qi who was feared by everyone. This was confidence. Chapter 26:16. What? That's just a clone of the suppressing demon? If a clone is already so powerful, how terrifying would his original body be? Yes, this formation demon is invincible. No one can defeat him. I'm afraid that we have no hope in this trip to the Thunder Rush Sea. Now that the 6 formation masters have been severely injured, we're doomed to fail this time. If this goes on, what's the use of us staying here? We might even be killed by the formation demon. The safety of Lingju City has become a problem. I seriously suspect that the city lord is unable to protect our Lingju City. The surrounding crowd was in a state of panic. Everyone was worried about their own safety because this trip to the Thunder Rush Sea was hopeless. The teleportation formation in Lingju City was destroyed by the formation demon by Qi, and no one knew when it would be repaired. They would only become the target of the formation demon if they stayed here. Even if it's just a clone, killing you is as easy as killing a chicken. The black fog continued to rise and hovered around Jiang Chen, as if it would devour Jiang Chen at any time. Let's go. Xueqi soared to the sky and protected Jiang Chen behind him. He slashed down with his sword but he could not find any trace of the formation demon by Qi. This guy is too reckless. He's simply courting death. Humph. Ji Ningqi sneered and said. He could not wait for Jiang Chen to be killed by the formation demon by Qi. That way, he would be able to eliminate the hatred in his heart. Yes, this guy is too arrogant. Now, it's time for him to pay the price. Shen Fenghe said fiercely. Jiang Chen is too arrogant. With his current strength, how can he compete with the formation demon by Qi? Long Xiaotan shook his head and sighed, but Jiang Chen was not a member of his 9-dragon palace, so he did not say anything. On the other hand, Donghuang Xueqi was silently looking at Jiang Chen. He knew that Jiang Chen was not the kind of person who would show off in front of others. However, the current situation was critical and he had a way to deal with the formation demon by Qi. Therefore, he naturally could not sit still and wait for his death. Kid, you're courting death. Formation demon by Qi said with a cold smile. Jiang Chen did not agree. The Qianling Mausoleum rises from the left. The rain only returns after 10 days. The spirit of the underworld rotates 3 times. The water separates the light, the shadow separates, and the return comes and goes. Jiang Chen murmured as he performed a series of hand seals, executing a powerful formation. Jiang Chen was protected by the 5-elemental trigram fire array. A divine king could break through it, but Jiang Chen was sure that this array demon by Qi's clone could never break through it. Just when everyone thought that Jiang Chen was going to die, formation demon by Qi suddenly stopped. To think that you're also an expert in formation, I have underestimated you, the formation demon by Qi said coldly. However, just as he was about to attack again, a 7-star 8 trigrams array formation appeared in the sky and enveloped him completely. The 8 trigrams array formation enveloped the black clouds. The formation demon by Qi was in a panic. He had never thought that there would be such a powerful formation demon in Lingju City. Jiang Chen performed a series of hand seals with one hand and controlled the 7-star 8 trigram array with the other. Although it was simple, the effect was obvious. The black clouds could not escape anymore. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust, be destroyed. Jiang Chen crushed the black clouds with one hand. The black clouds in the 7-star 8 trigram array became dim at this moment. Kid, you and I cannot live under the same sky. I will never let you go in the Qilian boundary. Formation demon by Qi's voice was getting weaker and weaker. However, it was filled with hatred and resentment. That terrifying resentment made people feel fearful. You're still so stubborn even when you're about to die. Not bad. Destroying one of your doppelgangers will not give you any benefits even if you're not seriously injured. The 7-star 8 trigram array wields the might of the heavens. Evil spirits will not be able to escape. Jiang Chen stretched out his hand and clenched it. His face was filled with overbearing aura like a giant palm, completely destroying the black clouds. At this moment, formation demon by Qi had completely lost his battle strength, leaving behind a terrifying black ash that turned into a human figure and scattered on the ground. Trash. Jiang Chen said coldly. Perhaps he would be slightly afraid if the real Jiang Chen was here. However, it was just a clone that could come and go without a trace. It was too arrogant to expect everyone to bow down to it. However, if Jiang Chen was not here, even the 6 great formation masters would be doomed to die here. Edited by Lifer, Fingerfox, the formation demon's doppelganger has been destroyed. Jiang Chen looked at Xueqi and nodded his head slightly. Xueqi looked at Jiang Chen in shock. Everyone was the same. Who would have thought that Jiang Chen could defeat formation demon by Qi so easily? If they did not witness it with their own eyes, they would definitely think that it was a fairy tale. What the fuck? Is this for real? This guy actually defeated formation demon by Qi, who even a late divine king realm expert could not do anything about? Seeing is believing. If I did not witness it with my own eyes, I would not believe it either. However, this is the truth. Even the young city lord could not do anything about it. This guy's name will definitely resound throughout Lingju City. Haven't you heard? That's just a doppelganger. It's not strong at all. TSK, what's there to celebrate about defeating it? Someone said bitterly. After all, Jiang Chen's strength was not even at the divine king realm yet. Even divine kings like them could not do anything about it. How could Jiang Chen do anything about it? He only defeated a doppelganger. Was it worth the attention? The people of Shening sect despised Jiang Chen, but they could not win against the crowd. After all, most of them were on Jiang Chen's side and cheered for Jiang Chen. Dong Huang Xueqi was undoubtedly the happiest. At this moment, Jiang Chen could be considered to have brought glory to the Eastern Emperor sect. Even the young city lord could not do anything about it, but Jiang Chen was able to defeat it easily. It was not an exaggeration to say that Jiang Chen's strength was unparalleled. He's really just a doppelganger of the formation demon. Xueqi seemed to be a little disappointed and sighed. He could not even defeat a doppelganger of the formation demon. How ironic. In the end, he still needed the help of a person who was not even at the divine king realm to complete the task of guarding Lingju City. That's right. This formation demon is indeed powerful. However, his strength is only limited to the formation. He should not be able to suppress you at all. His goal should be to delay us. It's not difficult for them to destroy the teleportation formation on purpose, and they don't need to invest too much in it. Jiang Chen said. You're saying that formation demon by Qi has an ulterior motive? Xueqi squinted his eyes. It's highly possible that he just wants us to stay here. The Thunder Rush Sea is their real target. Jiang Chen continued. However, we're powerless now. Chapter 26:17. Reporting to young Lord, the scouts that went to the Five Elements sect reported that the entire Five Elements sect was annihilated. None of the formation masters survived. A black-clothed man stood behind Xueqi and said in a low voice, "Five Elements sect?" Jiang Chen frowned. One of the top 20 great formation sects in the Qilian boundary. None of them survived. All of them were annihilated. Xueqi sighed. One could imagine that this was a premeditated plan. When they wanted to destroy the teleportation formation, they had already cut off all possibilities. Therefore, the Five Elements sect that was founded on the teleportation formation was annihilated. This was enough to prove that it was not as simple as it looked. It could even be said that a storm was brewing in Lingju City. What? The Five Elements sect was annihilated? How could such a terrifying thing happen? The Five Elements sect is ranked 13th among the sects in the Qilian boundary. If the power of their formation is compared to the top 10 sects, they might not be any weaker. This is obviously a premeditated thing. The destruction of the Five Elements sect shows that the Array Demon is very cunning. He has planned all of this. It seems like our trip to the Thunder Rush Sea is destined to be a dream. Everyone was worried, but Xueqi could do nothing about it. The most important thing now was to defeat the Formation Devil. Otherwise, the situation would be even more difficult. Everyone, please return. The teleportation formation was destroyed and the City Lord's mansion is also very sad. However, we have no idea what to do now. I will go back and discuss with my father. Xueqi said faintly. Although these people were unwilling, they still left. It was useless to stay here. Instead, it would only make them angrier. Friend, my father sent me a message. He hopes that you can follow me to the City Lord's mansion. Xueqi looked at Jiang Chen and said in a low voice, "City Lord's mansion?" Jiang Chen smiled. He wanted to keep a low profile, but it was impossible. It seemed like the City Lord was having a hard time. Although it was just a guess, Lingju City should be in a precarious situation. All right. Jiang Chen bid farewell to Donghuang Xueqi and the others and followed Xueqi to the City Lord mansion. The City Lord's mansion was not very tall, nor was it very dazzling. It was indescribably grand. Instead, it was at the foot of a small mountain. As the saying goes, it's not the height of the mountain that makes it famous. It's not the depth of the water that makes it lively. Jiang Chen believed that these words could not be more appropriate when used to describe the City Lord's manor, which could only be described as simple and crude. There were more than 100 guards around the mansion. All of them were half-step divine kings. 10 of them were even divine kings. Their imposing auras were intimidating. When they saw Xueqi, they all bowed. After Jiang Chen and Xueqi entered the governor's mansion, there was an imposing middle-aged man standing proudly in the middle of the hall. Although Jiang Chen wasn't certain that the person he met at the Thousand City auction was the governor, he felt that the aura was extremely familiar. Furthermore, he hadn't forgotten what happened back then. "I'm Jiang Chen. Greetings, City Lord," Jiang Chen said. "You've broken the formation demon by Qi's illusory formation, preventing him from committing any more crimes. You've made a great contribution to Lingju City," the middle-aged man said faintly. He was wearing a brown cloak and his imposing aura made Jiang Chen puzzled. This man was the true master of the Qilian boundary, the Lord of Lingju City and also the Reverend of the Nine Boundaries. He should have broken through the Divine King realm. Jiang Chen was deeply afraid of him. A hierarch expert was definitely not an ordinary person. "Thank you for your compliment, City Lord. It's just a superficial thing." Jiang Chen smiled and said, "Hee, young man, you're neither arrogant nor rash. You have a good disposition. Tell me, do you think the teleportation formation can be activated again?" The middle-aged man slowly turned around and looked at Jiang Chen. His eyes were sharp and filled with coldness. But at this moment, he looked very kind. However, his eyes were as bright as the stars. It made Jiang Chen feel the true terror of the City Lord. "I can give it a try," Jiang Chen said. "What? Are you sure you can activate the teleportation formation again and repair it?" Xueqi looked at Jiang Chen in shock. Even though Jiang Chen had broken by Qi's formation, it did not mean that he could repair the teleportation formation. One should know that the teleportation formation was a formation that could only be constructed by a divine emperor expert. It was not something that ordinary people could touch. Even with the help of 6 formation masters, their efforts were all in vain. Those 6 formation masters were all at the Divine King realm. I can't guarantee it, but it's not impossible. Jiang Chen said. Good lad. You're interesting. If you can reactivate the teleportation formation, I'll give you a big reward. Zi Qingtian looked at Jiang Chen with burning eyes. She was also in disbelief. However, the scene of Jiang Chen breaking Bai Qi's formation was indeed exciting. I'll do my best. Restore the teleportation formation. Jiang Chen nodded silently. One more thing. What do you think about the extermination of the Five-Element sect? Zi Qingtian seemed to want to hear Jiang Chen's thoughts. It should be the doing of the formation demon, or the person behind the formation demon. Someone wants to stop the people of the 10 great sects from heading to the Thunder Rush Sea. Moreover, their plan is perfect and flawless. Most importantly, if their goal is only the Thunder Rush Sea, I feel that annihilating the Five-Element sect is making a mountain out of a molehill. Oh? Do you think there's a conspiracy behind this? Zi Qingtian looked at Jiang Chen with interest. The Heavenly Profound sect and the Killing Luo sect did not send anyone here. This means that there's something fishy going on between the two sections. Even if it's not related to them, it must be related to them. I think this is what the City Lord is worried about. The Heavenly Profound sect and the Killing Luo sect are both super sections. If the two of them join hands, they'll be invincible even in the Qilian region. I suspect that there's more to this, but it's just my guess. Jiang Chen said without hiding anything because he felt that the City Lord wouldn't attack a small figure like him. Moreover, the reason why the Formation Devil came to attack the city was definitely not groundless. It was highly possible that the City Lord had already found some clues. Jiang Chen didn't know what was going on. You're right. However, some things might not be as simple as you think. Zi Qingtian shook his head and smiled. He looked very kind. Although he was in a high position, he did not put on any airs. It was Jiang Chen's first time seeing this. However, the helplessness he revealed was proportional to his status. Father, Shi wanted to say something but was interrupted by Zi Qingtian. There's no time to lose. The top 10 sects are already waiting. The trip to the Thunder Rush Sea is imminent. If you can do this, I'll reward you handsomely in the future. Zi Qingtian stared at Jiang Chen. I hope I won't let the City Lord down. Jiang Chen nodded and left the City Lord's mansion. Chapter 26:18. Go and lend him a hand. Things are not as simple as I thought. If we can start the teleportation formation, you should go to the Thunder Rush Sea too. The teleportation formation is only one aspect. The Thunder Rush Sea might be more exciting. Zi Qingtian said word by word. But father, Lingju City is also in a precarious situation. Shi said worriedly. As long as I'm here, no one dares to do anything. At least for now, no one dares to do so. Zi Qingtian said calmly and sent Shi away. Then he fell into deep thought. Is the prophecy from 1,000 years ago going to come true? Old man, even if I have to use all my strength, I will not let you succeed. Zi Qingtian murmured. In the void, the shocking scene of him fighting with that person appeared again. However, Zi Qingtian was no longer as glorious as he was in the past. The price he had to pay for being suppressed for 1,000 years might be unbearable for him. The time limit of 1,000 years had come. Looks like there will be a storm this time. Is Lingju City really going to be turned upside down because of this guy? In front of the teleportation formation, there was no one left except for Jiang Chen and Shi who was behind him. Brother, are you really confident? Shi was still doubtful of Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen did not dare to say that he could definitely do it. However, it should not be difficult to repair the teleportation formation with a no-beginning formation as the foundation. However, it would consume a lot of his energy. I'll try my best, Jiang Chen said with a smile. As he turned around, he looked at the broken teleportation formation and his eyes suddenly became sharp. Jiang Chen controlled a corner of the no-beginning formation and started to merge it with the teleportation formation. Shi watched Jiang Chen's every move silently and his heart tightened. The teleportation formation was extremely special. It was extremely difficult for experts below the Divine Emperor realm to repair it. Even though Jiang Chen had the no-beginning formation, it was still extremely difficult for him to repair the teleportation formation. After reaching the Divine Emperor realm, they would have the ability to do whatever they wanted. At that time, the teleportation formation would be meaningless to them because they could use the great divine ability of heaven and earth instantaneous movement. After breaking through to the Divine Emperor realm, their comprehension of the laws of heaven and earth would be very strong. Unfortunately, the Divine Emperor realm was too far away for Jiang Chen. A corner of Jiang Chen's no-beginning spirit formation fused with the teleportation formation. Jiang Chen saw a glimmer of hope because the teleportation formation was being repaired continuously. This corner of the no-beginning spirit formation was playing a crucial role indeed. Jiang Chen did not dare to delay. He activated a corner of the no-beginning spirit formation and fused it with the teleportation formation. The rudimentary form of the teleportation formation was gradually repaired. In the blink of an eye, a few hours had passed. Jiang Chen also felt that it was extremely strenuous. Maintaining the formation required an extremely powerful divine origin energy. Moreover, the no-beginning spirit formation was so powerful that even with the help of Jiang Chen's wood spirit, he was still unable to make ends meet. It was obvious that the consumption of a corner of the no-beginning spirit formation was extremely shocking. However, more than half of the teleportation formation had been repaired. Xueqi looked at Jiang Chen silently and couldn't help but admire him. Although Jiang Chen was only a late heavenly god, his ability was far beyond the reach of a late divine king. Especially the damaged formation that countless formation masters could not repair. But under Jiang Chen's efforts, the teleportation formation was almost completed. The sky became dark and bright again. After a day and a night, Jiang Chen finally completed the repair of the teleportation formation. He was completely exhausted. His forehead was covered with sweat, but there was a tinge of joy in his bitterness. We did it. We did it. Ha! Xueqi looked at Jiang Chen with admiration. Jiang Chen was the most terrifying person he had ever seen. The teleportation formation that was destroyed by the formation demon Bai Qi was saved by him. We can inform them that the teleportation formation can finally be used. Jiang Chen smiled brightly. Xueqi had never seen such a bright smile before. At this moment, not only did Jiang Chen fulfill the expectations of the city lord, but it was also a qualitative leap for him. Jiang Chen's understanding of the no-beginning formation had deepened. Even though a corner of the formation might not be able to suppress the world, his understanding of the formation had reached a whole new level. When Xueqi sent people to inform the various sects, everyone was shocked. How is this possible? Is the teleportation formation really repaired? Isn't he too good at fooling people? So simple? Was it really repaired by the disciple of the Eastern Emperor sect? Although I don't believe it, the teleportation formation has indeed been repaired. Our journey to the Thunder Rush Sea still has a chance of survival. Ha! Everyone was exceptionally happy. Their trip to the Thunder Rush Sea had become a reality. The best response to their failure was that their trip to the Thunder Rush Sea had become a reality. We should all thank a person. His name is Jiang Chen. Xueqi said in a deep voice. However, there were only a few people who were truly grateful to Jiang Chen because they were rushing towards the Thunder Rush Sea. In that case, more people would not be able to reach the Thunder Rush Sea first. Jiang Chen smiled indifferently. He did not want to be thanked by those people, so there was nothing to be surprised about. He felt that it was his destiny. Moreover, he also wanted to go to the Thunder Rush Sea. This is human nature. Jiang Chen looked at Xueqi. The latter seemed to be a little angry, but it could not change everyone's heart. Perhaps this is human nature. Jiang Chen, good job. Dong Huang Xueqi patted on Jiang Chen's shoulder, expressing the highest praise for him as an elder. Long Xiaoten also praised Jiang Chen. Other than Dong Huang Tai, that lunatic, you are the only one that I respect. Dong Huang Taiji and Jiang Chen looked at each other. Dong Huang Taiji said in a low voice. He then turned around and walked towards the teleportation formation with Murong Yun. Pfft, maybe it's just luck. Humph. It's not surprising that you can repair the formation. Who doesn't eat dumplings during the new year? Let's go. I hope you can come back alive from the Thunder Rush Sea. Chu Tianshu said in a weird tone, but she did not want to argue with Jiang Chen. It might not be a bad thing if the trip to the Thunder Rush Sea was cut off. Now that the teleportation formation had been reopened, it might not be a good thing either. Let's go, Thunder Rush Sea. We are coming. The corner of Jiang Chen's lips curled into a smile. The Thunder Rush Sea is boundless and boundless. The journey to the Thunder Rush Sea might be an even more terrifying adventure. I will go with you. Chapter 26:19. Above the vast sea, the strong wind gathered the dark clouds. Between the dark clouds and the sea, a black shadow shuttled back and forth between thunder and lightning. That shadow flapped its wings and flew towards the depths of the dark clouds like an arrow. The Thunder Rush Sea was connected to the vast ocean. No one knew how deep the Thunder Rush Sea extended. There were people who tried to find out where the Thunder Rush Sea flowed to, but from then on, they were never able to return. The demonic beasts in the sea were much more ferocious and terrifying than those on the continent. There were tens of millions of Divine King and Hierarch Realm sea demons. Some even said that there were more than one Emperor Realm sea demon in the deep sea. On the calm sea, there were always waves beating against the shore. The sea was like a demonic beast that could devour the heaven and earth, the sun, the moon, the mountains and the rivers, lying between the mountains and the sea. The night was dark and the wind was chilly. The waves were beating against the rocks. The mountains were high and the valleys were deep. Big brother, I've heard that the Thunder Rush Sea has attracted a lot of people. I guess those idiots are still fighting in Lingju City. The black-robed young man said with a faint smile. His deep eyes looked into the depths of the sea, which was also as vast as the sea. Even so, we can't let our guard down. It's not the time to be happy yet. The white-shirt young man shook his head. His expression was solemn as usual, as if he was looking forward to something. The Thunder Rush Sea is about to rain. It seems like it's too peaceful this time. It's not normal. The other curly-haired man with a golden hammer in his hand smiled coldly. He seemed to have a golden body. His long and narrow eyes kept scanning the surroundings, fearing that there would be any movement. His aura, which was ready to attack, made people feel that he was facing a great enemy. Lei Peng, don't be so nervous. Is this all you heavenly profound sect can do? The black-shirt young man shook his head and chuckled. He seemed to be disdainful towards Lei Peng. It's different this time, Lei Peng said seriously. Don't be rude, He-cha. The white-shirt young man looked at him. He-cha shrugged and did not say anything else. He knew that angering Lei Peng would not do them any good. Moreover, they were on the same side now. I prefer dealing with people like Yin Hun. At least he knows what to say and what not to say. Lei Peng's eyes narrowed as he closed them to rest. He-cha laughed coldly. He didn't want to fight to the death with Lei Peng. Right now, they were all waiting for the Thunder Rush Sea to make a move. I hope it's really as Sect Master said. Suddenly, the wind howled, and the peace on the surface of the sea was completely broken. The thousands of petrels that had been resting on the shore flapped their wings and flew towards the distant shore. However, before these sea petrels could take flight, a huge wave came crashing down like a tsunami, blotting out the sky. All the sea petrels were killed by the wave, without exception. Haiyan, you should be more careful. Such a big wave. You're really courting death. He-cha said with a smile. The waves killed all the petrels on the sea. No matter how agile the petrels were, it was useless. The great waves washed away the sand, the wind and rain swayed. The sound of thunder in the sky also became more and more ear-piercing. Lightning streaked across the night sky, illuminating the Thunder Rush Sea that was suddenly hit by the heavy rain. This wave is strange. Shouldn't the tide be ebbing? Why is there such a ferocious wave? Lei Peng's eyes turned cold as he said. In the blink of an eye, huge waves rose one after another. Each wave was higher than the previous one. The terrifying waves could almost devour a towering mountain. The Wind and Thunder Canyon had already turned into a vast ocean. Only when the tide receded could the Wind and Thunder Canyon be exposed to the public. Those below the Divine King realm could not withstand the ferocity of the waves at all. The weakest among the people standing behind Lei Peng, Yin Hun and the others were peak heavenly gods, while the strongest among them were divine kings. However, they were still defeated by the waves. In the end, they were all killed by the waves. Even they were in a precarious situation and they quickly retreated. It was the first time that He-cha's face revealed such a serious expression. His previous carelessness had vanished when he saw dozens of experts being crushed to death by the huge wave. Even he had suffered some light injuries. Those people couldn't escape even if they wanted to. All of them had become the remains of the sea. They didn't even have the time to breathe. The three of them quickly left. They were already drenched by the huge wave because they didn't know if the next wave would be more terrifying than this one. 3 waves, killing a Divine King realm expert. One could imagine how terrifying the Thunder Rush Sea was. At this moment, they finally knew why the Thunder Rush Sea was classified as a forbidden area. In other words, every 1,000 years, the waves here would be the thinnest. Moreover, there would be a ebb tide that was rarely seen in 1,000 years. During the remaining time, the waves of the Thunder Rush Sea were as terrifying as the apocalypse. No matter if it was Lei Peng or Yin Hun, they had many people behind them. But under the huge wave, all of them became wandering ghosts. Such a terrifying destructive force could only be created by a natural phenomenon. This is too terrifying. He-cha realized how terrifying the Thunder Rush Sea was. Even the 1,000-meter-tall mountain was washed by the waves. No one was spared. Thunder rumbled above the Thunder Rush Sea. Lightning struck from the sky and struck the sea. The lightning was bright and dazzling as it merged with the waves that covered the sky. That terrifying destructive force could completely destroy a person. Under the suppression of the waves and lightning, even an ultimate god expert would have to avoid it. That's the sound of thunder? Lei Peng murmured. The deafening rumbling of thunder caused him to be deeply affected. In the sky above the Thunder Rush Sea, between the dark clouds, bolts of lightning descended from the heavens. This was one of the great wonders of the Thunder Rush Sea. The deafening rumbling of thunder caused the hearts of the spectators to tremble. Lei Peng was also a lightning attribute expert, but facing such a marvelous sight, he couldn't help but sigh in his heart. He was far from being able to compete against it. There's still more? He-cha's eyes lit up. The fourth wave was even higher than the previous 3 waves. The entire Wind Thunder Canyon was enveloped by this wave. It was boundless as far as the eye could see. The wave covered the sky and thunder rumbled for 1,000 miles, destroying the world. Go! A loud roar was heard. 4 Divine King Realm experts soared into the sky and protected the 3 of them with a terrifying shockwave. However, the destructive force of the shockwave still forced the 4 Divine King Realm experts to retreat miserably. Marshal Uncle Lee. Chapter 26:20. If we're any slower, all of you would have died here. Even us old men wouldn't be able to escape. The middle-aged man who was addressed as Li Xueqi shook his head and sighed. He looked at the waves a few hundred li away with lingering fear. This wave is really strange. Although it's no different from the wave hundreds of years ago, it seems to have the power to destroy the world. No one can resist it. We have suffered a great loss this time. More than 100 heavenly gods and half-step divine kings have died. It's tragic. That's right. That's right. That's right. Senior Uncle Lee sighed. He had lived for more than 1,000 years and had long seen through life and death. However, this time around was different from the past. They had all come to the Thunder Rush Sea in search of a higher breakthrough. Not only that, they had brought along the most talented disciples of the sect. This trip to the Thunder Rush Sea was not something they could return empty-handed. The tides will rise and fall for at least 3 days. Looks like it's going to ebb after this wave. The skinny old man who stood beside Li Xueqi said, "Thousands of years have passed. I'm afraid we're going to be slammed onto the beach in a blink of an eye." Li Peng, Yin Hun and He-cha stared at the domineering waves. The power of nature could only be described as terrifying. There's no room for negotiation. If they lose, they'll lose their lives. 3 days later, the tide gradually thinned, and the waves washed away the sand. After receding, a 1,000-meter-deep gorge was revealed from the seabed. Inside the gorge, scallops were everywhere, and there was an endless amount of dead trees and sand. However, this place was protruding, like a historical site in the wilderness. The gorge was eerily quiet, and echoes from the seabed could be heard everywhere. It was extremely frightening. The Wind and Thunder Canyon became the most mysterious mystery of the Thunder Rush Sea. It was like a divine palace at the bottom of the sea, like an ancient historical site. Nobody knew what was in the depths of the canyon and what kind of place it was. At a distance, more than 100 corpses were completely rotten. Nobody expected the corrosive power of the seawater to be able to corrode the corpses of divine kings to such an extent. "May the dead rest in peace," Lei Peng said indifferently. He felt somewhat sorrowful in his heart. After all, they were all fellow disciples of the same sect. However, the pitch-black canyon in front of them seemed to possess some sort of magical power that was slowly pulling them closer. "We can only stay here for 3 days. 3 days later, when the tide of the Thunder Rush Sea rises, none of us will be able to leave this place alive. Therefore, we have to come out within these 3 days." Senior Uncle Lee said in a low voice. This was not a warning, but an order. When he looked at Lei Peng, his eyes were filled with seriousness. "Ha ha ha, I'm late, everyone. A black-robed figure that was as skinny as a match arrived on a cloud with a flick of his sleeve. His eyes were sunken, and his smiling appearance gave off an extremely sinister feeling. "Mr. Bai, please." Li Shu laughed. Mr. White shook his head. "I only care about the 8 formation diagram. You won't disappoint me, right?" "Of course. Mr. Bai, you've done a great job this time. We definitely won't neglect you." Li Shu nodded in agreement. "That's good. Let's go. I have long wanted to see what the legendary Wind and Thunder Canyon looks like." After saying that, Mr. Bai entered the Wind and Thunder Canyon. The group of 7 quickly followed him into the Wind and Thunder Canyon. At that moment, the sky seemed to darken for an instant. This lasted for a full minute before the resplendent rays of the sun began to shine. "Ha ha ha, Thunder Rush Sea. I'm finally here. Yeah, I'm sure we won't miss this trip to the Thunder Rush Sea. Guys, look, the Wind and Thunder Canyon is over there." Someone looked into the distance and saw the Wind and Thunder Canyon that was less than 100 miles away from their teleportation portal. Jiang Chen and the others walked out of the teleportation portal. The sky of the Thunder Rush Sea was so blue, the water so cold, and the air so fresh. When the 30 people walked out of the teleportation portal, their eyes were filled with anticipation and excitement. It was as if they were going to be the masters of the Wind and Thunder Canyon in the coming days. Everyone stepped on the waves and headed straight for the Wind and Thunder Canyon. Whoosh! When they arrived at the Wind and Thunder Canyon, everyone was shocked. That was because in front of the Wind and Thunder Canyon, close to 100 people had all died here. Moreover, it was obvious that they had died not too long ago. However, most of their corpses were already rotten. "I know him. He's killing Luo Sec's Gung Jingzhong, a half-step divine king disciple. He's one of the elites of the heavenly profound sect. Yeah, it's Gung Jingzhong. I've hunted beasts with him before. I know that man too. He's from the Killing Luo sect. Looks like the Heavenly Profound sect and the Killing Luo sect have arrived at the Wind and Thunder Canyon before us. That man is a divine king expert. I've seen him in Lingju City a few years ago. He's one of the top 10 disciples of the Heavenly Profound sect. But he's dead now." They felt a strong sense of danger. Because those people were stronger than them, but they still died here. Although the weakest among them was a half-step divine king, who could guarantee that they wouldn't be buried in the canyon like those who died in front of the Thunder Canyon? An inexplicable fear shrouded everyone's heart. The Wind and Thunder Canyon had become the gates of hell. "What should we do? Should we go in or not?" Murong Yun looked at Dong Huang Taiji and said softly, "It doesn't matter if they're dead. There's nothing to feel pity about. Even if they're not dead, I'll still kill those who are in front of me," Dong Huang Taiji said in a domineering tone. Even though so many experts had died here not too long ago, he did not waver at all. "Looks like there's already someone in the Wind and Thunder Canyon." Jiang Chen nodded and said, "Jiang Chen's right. If we don't go in now, I'm afraid that someone else will arrive before us. I'm pretty sure that the teleportation formation was destroyed because of the Killing Luo sect and the Heavenly Profound sect," Zishi said in a deep voice. "Let's not waste any more time. Let's go." Dong Huang Xueqi nodded silently and rushed to the front with Long Xiaotan. Jiang Chen raised his head and looked at the sky. He could feel a pair of eyes looking at him, but there was nothing in the sky except for a cloud. The tsunami continued to surge. After the ebb, the Thunder Rush Sea became abnormally calm. Compared to the past, it was nothing. But even so, it was still extremely terrifying for a divine king. The Wind and Thunder Canyon was like a giant ancient ruins. Everywhere was filled with a mysterious and ancient aura. It looked like a beautiful jade that was washed by the waves of the sea. It's different from what we've seen before. Chapter 26-21. Legend has it that the Wind and Thunder Canyon is different every time. Looks like it's true. This Wind and Thunder Canyon should be built on some kind of formation, but even I can't see through it. Formation Demon by Qi said. This should be an ancient formation. It's practically impossible to find any trace of it. However, this Wind and Thunder Canyon is truly filled with shock and awe. Look, that's a deep-sea crocodile abalone. It's huge. Haha, it's comparable to an immortal-grade medicinal pill. Hei Cha's eyes lit up as he picked up a human-sized deep-sea crocodile abalone. The others were shocked as well. They did not expect this fella to be so lucky. Although the deep-sea crocodile abalone was precious, it was not to the extent where they would fight for it. That's a supreme coral grass. Li Peng was surprised as he saw a supreme coral grass not far away. It grew on a huge coral reef, with 7 different colors. It had the effect of reviving the dead, even more so than the deep-sea crocodile abalone. Good stuff. Really good stuff. Ha ha ha. Formation Demon Bai Qi laughed and continued to walk deeper into the Wind and Thunder Canyon. That's a supreme-grade cold jade plaque. Yin Hun's gaze landed on a few feet-long supreme-grade cold jade. A small piece of supreme-grade cold jade could be exchanged for a divine tool. Such a big piece of supreme-grade cold jade must be priceless. But what shocked him the most was the words on the supreme-grade cold jade. I see Divine Dragon Palace. Yin Hun murmured. What? You said this is the I see Divine Dragon Palace? Bai Qi suddenly turned around and his gaze landed on the I see Divine Dragon Palace. His gaze became more solemn and sharp. Why? Is there a problem? Mr. Bai? Yin Hun asked curiously. There's more than a problem. I see Divine Dragon Palace. Ha ha ha, to think that I would be able to come here in my lifetime. It was truly a great fortune, a great fortune. Ha ha ha. Formation Demon Bai Qi's roar shocked Li Xueqi and the others. However, they guessed that the I see Divine Dragon Palace should be a top-notch blessed land. Just the name itself was enough to make one's imagination run wild. The I see Divine Dragon Palace, the palace of a divine dragon, how could it be ordinary? Formation Demon Bai Qi's complexion gradually recovered, but his expression was still stern. I hope Mr. Bai can dispel my doubts. Li Xueqi laughed. Formation Demon Bai Qi glanced at Junior Uncle Li impatiently. If it wasn't for the fact that he was only a clone, he would have rushed up and looted all the treasures in the I see Divine Dragon Palace. Unfortunately, he could only go with the Killing Rakshasa sect and the Tianxian sect. With the 8 formation diagram as a reward, he naturally wouldn't defend the 2 sects, unless he really obtained a treasure that was even scarier than the 8 formation diagram. There are true dragons in the I see Divine Dragon Palace. Moreover, there's a high possibility that the Dragon Clan's treasure or Dragon Ball is here. The Dragon Clan is good at searching for treasures and each of them is extremely wealthy. This I see Divine Dragon Palace is definitely not simple. Formation Devil Bai Qi said calmly, but Li Xueqi and the others became serious. The treasure of the Dragon Clan would definitely open their eyes. Although they were in the divine world and the Chilean boundary was a big boundary, the existence of a dragon was still too far away for them. Even in the central region divine land, there might not be a dragon. The Dragon Clan had always been mysterious. It was not easy to see a real dragon, and this place was named as the I see Divine Dragon Palace. Of course it would make one's imagination run wild. Divine Dragon. Ha! Seems like this trip is not in vain. Hei Cha chuckled with a hint of shock in his eyes. This time, they've gathered the strength of 2 sects and Formation Demon to destroy the teleportation formation. Seems like the rewards they'll get are unimaginable. Remember, do not destroy anything here. The Dragon Clan is good at collecting treasures, and the forbidden curse of the Dragon Clan is also the scariest. If you touch something that you shouldn't touch, the consequences will be unimaginable. The forbidden curse is equivalent to a small-scale formation. The forbidden curse is one of the most powerful techniques of the Dragon Clan. It's even more powerful than a formation. Don't blame me for not reminding you guys. Formation Demon Bai Qi Lung said. Although he was reminding them out of goodwill, he was actually trying to make his plan work. If there's really a peerless treasure, he'll just run away with it, and the 2 sects won't be able to stop him. Understood. Li Xueqi and the others nodded silently and continued their journey to the depths of the I see Divine Dragon Palace. Bai Qi and the others carefully walked towards the depths of the I see Divine Dragon Palace. There were corpses of demonic beasts everywhere, and they were not rotting or corroded by the seawater. These corpses were extremely eerie, they were either broken or split apart. Moreover, there were some broken weapons, broken halberds, or rusted. The I see Divine Dragon Palace was extremely huge, so huge that people felt that the canyon was coexisting with it. This is a 10,000 years old deep-sea clam. Formation Demon Bai Qi's eyes moved, and he rushed forward and smashed the clam with his palm. The clam had been dead for God knows how many years, and it was smashed into pieces by Bai Qi's palm. However, at this moment, a dazzling radiance shone, and a palm-sized pearl appeared in front of everyone. A dazzling radiance burst out from the pearl. The radiance seemed to be trying to prove that it was the brightest radiance in the world. It's a deep-sea pearl. Formation Demon Bai Qi held the deep-sea pearl tightly in his hand. Li Shu and the others did not fight for it. After all, it was all thanks to Bai Qi that the Killing Luo sect and Tianxian sect were able to come here so smoothly. Congratulations. Haha, Mr. Bai's luck is pretty good. Li Shu said with a smile. Bai Qi nodded his head proudly and kept the deep-sea pearl. It's comparable to a heavenly divine tool. Moreover, the energy contained in the deep-sea pearl was immeasurable. Yin Hun and Lei Peng looked at the deep-sea pearl with envy. However, they could not snatch it away from Bai Qi since he already had it in his hand. Moreover, they knew Formation Demon Bai Qi's strength. Even if he was not as strong as their sect lord, he was not an ordinary person. Even Li Shu and the others showed respect in front of him. Of course. Don't you know who discovered this icy divine dragon palace? Ha! As he spoke, Bai Qi continued to walk forward, stepping on the sparkling and translucent white bones. Crunching sounds could be heard, making one wonder just how many years ago these demonic beasts had died a tragic death. There seemed to be an extremely tragic and stirring feeling within them. What's there to be proud of? If it wasn't for our 8 formation maze, would this fella work so hard? Now he wants to stuff his pockets? Chapter 26-22. Shut up, a loose tongue may cause trouble. Yin Hun shouted. He Cha looked at Bai Qi in disdain. In his eyes, Bai Qi was not a good person. Deep inside the Ice Ocean Godly Dragon Palace, a giant door appeared in front of the crowd. On the door, there were over 10 marks left by sabers, giving off a tremendous pressure as if it contained countless Dao auras. Divine Dragon Palace? 3 large words were engraved on the door, bold and forceful. I wonder what's behind this Divine Dragon Palace that attracts people. Bai Qi was at the front. When he pushed open the door of the Divine Dragon Palace, dust fell from the sky. The top of the palace was covered with seaweed. The skeletons of the demonic beasts gradually disappeared in front of the Divine Dragon Palace. Open up! Bai Qi struck out with his palm like a tsunami. The Divine Dragon Palace shook and buzzed. However, not a single mark was left on the door. Not only Bai Qi, but everyone else seemed to have woken up from a dream. How did the shadows of swords and sabers remain on the door? The amount of divine energy required would be terrifying. Although there were no marks left on the door was still pushed open by Bai Qi. Even after thousands of years, the magnificent palace was still incomparably magnificent. The Divine Dragon Palace formed a sharp contrast with the tragic scene outside. The floor that was paved with cold jade and golden bricks was sparkling. Even the black pillars at the side were carved and painted, looking extremely exquisite. In front of the dragon throne, there was a deep well that seemed bottomless. There were also over a dozen skeletons of demonic beasts, all of which seemed to be in perfect condition. The only exception was the skeleton of a Taoist on the white jade dragon throne. In the skeleton's hand was a square jade box. Bai Qi and the rest held their breaths as they stared at the white jade box. Boss, what do you think is hidden in the white jade box? He Cha squinted his eyes and said softly. I don't know, but it should be something good. Yin Hun also felt that something was amiss. But since Li Shu and the rest did not make a move, he would definitely not stand out. Bai Qi's eyes were burning with passion. Just as his hand was about to touch the white jade box, the person behind Junior Uncle Li suddenly spoke. Mr. Fong, I'm afraid you don't have to do anything, right? We'll take care of it. We can't thank you enough for escorting us to the Wind and Thunder Canyon. Bai Qi looked back at him. Lang Lang said, without me, would you be able to dominate the world? Without me, would you have been able to enter here? It's not up to you to decide what I want right now. Feng Xingli, it's not your Killing Luo sect's place to interfere with my matters. Bai Qi's arrogant expression made everyone feel that Bai Qi was arrogant and unruly. Perhaps he really wanted to monopolize the treasures. Feng Xingli's face was filled with killing intent, but he was stopped by Li Shu. Brother Feng, let's leave the treasure to Mr. Bai. I trust that Mr. Bai knows what he's doing. Li Jingdong still understands what it means to submit to circumstances. Bai Qi sneered. Mr. Bai, please. Li Jingdong said. Even so, Li Jingdong clearly did not want to see Bai Qi monopolizing all the treasures. Unfortunately, their current situation was worse than others. Moreover, it was thanks to Bai Qi that they were able to destroy the teleportation array. That's more like it. Bai Qi reached out his hand and grabbed onto the white jade box. He was instantly pushed back by the terrifying rebounding force. Bai Qi's expression changed drastically, but he calmed down after he stabilized his body. To think that there's a forbidden spell here. It seems like the item in this white jade box is extraordinary. The forbidden spell was a powerful technique of the Dragon Clan. If it wasn't a peerless treasure, the Dragon Clan wouldn't use a forbidden spell to seal it, as it would cause great damage to their bodies. What's in this white jade box? Li Peng and the others were curious. What was in the box that was worthy of being sealed by a forbidden spell? Bai Qi's hands formed a series of hand seals, continuously changing as he continued to make hand seals on the white jade box. It seemed to be a spell formation. Next, when Bai Qi tried to take the white jade box again, he was once again forced back. This time, Bai Qi's face was a little embarrassed. He was forced to retreat twice by this broken box. One could imagine the depression in his heart. However, he was even more convinced that there was a great treasure in this white jade square box. It was definitely not an ordinary item. This little thing, I don't believe that I can't take it down. Bai Qi did not believe it. He made another hand seal, but he still could not break the forbidden spell. Instead, he was injured by the rebounding force twice. His eyes became sharper. Even Bai Qi can't deal with this box. He Cha said. Yeah, it seems like this small box is not simple. Lei Peng echoed. To Bai Qi, it was a blatant mockery. As a formation demon, he couldn't even break a small forbidden spell. However, they understood that if Bai Qi couldn't take it down, they wouldn't be able to either. It wasn't that easy to break a forbidden spell. I'll show you what is called true strength. Bai Qi thought. If he lost his face in front of these guys, he would not be able to live anymore. The #1 formation devil in the Chilean region was not a joke. Even in the Lone Dragon County, he was still one of the top figures. Bai Qi continued to set up a formation on the forbidden spell. Finally, on the fourth time, the box was taken down by Bai Qi. He was pushed back again. He held the box tightly in his hand. At the moment when the box was in his hand, the human skeleton fell apart and became a pile of bones. Humph! Now you should know who's the real overlord. Bai Qi sneered. He felt disdain towards Li Jingdong and the others. At this moment, Jiang Chen also saw the icy divine dragon palace. At this moment, his blood was boiling, as if a tremendous force of will was pulling him towards the icy divine dragon palace. There seemed to be an endless amount of treasures here that was attracting him. Legend has it that the Dragon Clan is good at collecting treasures. I wonder if this place has been robbed. Dong Huang Xueqi said. Not bad. Looks like we're lucky this time. Plus, there's already someone who's leading the way. What are we afraid of? Huh. Long Xiaotan said excitedly. They were sure that the Heavenly Profound sect and Killing Luo sect were inside. Then what are we waiting for? Let's not waste any more time. Ji Ningqi and the others from Shening's sect were the first to rush into the icy divine dragon palace. Jiang Chen followed silently at the back, his expression unchanging. Why are you not anxious? Aren't you afraid that the treasures will be taken away? Chu Tianshu sneered. Of course I want the treasures, but I don't want to take the risk. Chapter 26-23. Zixi looked at Jiang Chen. He felt that Jiang Chen was the calmest one among all of them. He did not lose his mind because of the treasures. It seemed like he was not in a hurry to look for the treasures that he wanted. Instead, he was like a bystander, calmly facing the situation. His mind was worthy of admiration. Be it pretending to be aloof or being really as immovable as a mountain, it was worth learning from. It was not easy to maintain a calm mind in this place that was known as a treasure site. Many people had changed their initial intentions. They originally came to the Wind and Thunder Cliff in the Wind and Thunder Canyon to train and experience the baptism of wind and thunder. But now, they all rushed into the icy divine dragon palace in search of treasures. Among them, Zixi was the strongest. Moreover, he was the young master of the city lord's mansion. Therefore, he did not care about ordinary treasures. He was able to maintain this mindset, but it was not because he was aloof from worldly affairs. I feel that the icy divine dragon palace is unusual. Zixi had a premonition that the icy divine dragon palace was not a good place. It might become a devil's nest. That depends on what will happen next. Jiang Chen smiled and shook his head. He did not dare to make a judgment, but it was always right to assume the worst outcome. They had not experienced the dreadfulness of the Wind and Thunder Canyon yet, but it did not mean that the Thunder Rush Sea that was feared by the entire Chilean boundary was a good place. I hope nothing bad will happen. She did not wish for any accidents to happen. After all, these were the genius disciples of the 8 major sects of the Chilean boundary. But when he thought of the disciples who died at the entrance of the Wind and Thunder Canyon before entering the Thunder Rush Sea, he felt inexplicably worried. Dozens of people were mercilessly obliterated just like that. What kind of power was able to accomplish such a feat? Where's Jiang Chen? Where is he? Dong Huang Xueqi suddenly asked. Because everyone rushed to the front, some of them picked up some broken divine tools and even heavenly divine tools. But there was nothing valuable. He's at the back. He's probably afraid of death and doesn't dare to rush to the front. Chu Tianshu said faintly with a hint of sarcasm on her lips. However, she was paying attention to Jiang Chen at all times. She wanted to know whether this guy was really capable or not. This trip to the Thunder Rush Sea would definitely make him reveal his flaws. Dong Huang Xueqi smiled. He did not take Chu Tianshu's words seriously because he felt that Jiang Chen was not that kind of person. Dong Huang Xueqi turned around and took a glance at Jiang Chen. The moment he turned around, his facial expression suddenly changed. Everyone was stunned. The white bones of the demonic beasts that were lying on the ground suddenly stood up at this moment. Their empty eyes were filled with green light, which made everyone shudder. Holy shit! Seriously? These guys have been dead for so long, yet they can still come back to life? This icy divine dragon palace is like a graveyard for demonic beasts. It's filled with demonic beast skeletons. They're all standing up. Run! Damn it! I'm not afraid of you when I'm still alive. Moreover, they're just a pile of skeletons now. Humph. Although the demonic beasts were just a pile of skeletons, there were a lot of them. They were piling up in front of the Divine Dragon Palace of the Icy Divine Dragon Palace. Tens of thousands of skeletons rose up at this moment. The skeletons of demonic beasts that were tens of feet tall brought a great sense of crisis to everyone at this moment. Blade lights and sword shadows were flying around. However, experts below the Divine King realm could not break the skeletons of demonic beasts in front of them at all. Those skeletons of demonic beasts looked just like a pair of skeletons, but they were extremely hard. Ordinary weapons and even heavenly divine tools could not break them. Dong Huang Xueqi and the others retreated step by step. However, they were completely surrounded by the skeletons of demonic beasts. They could only retreat in order to advance, but what they got in return was endless attacks. Elder, I'm dying. I can't take it anymore. These skeletons are too powerful. I'm dying too. Elder, save me. Ah, these skeletons of demonic beasts should not exist at all. Even a Divine King realm expert might not be able to defeat them. What should I do? I can't die. I can't die. Dozens of people were panicking. Only a group of elders were relatively calm. There were a total of 15 elders who surrounded the rest of the people. The 8 great sects were relatively harmonious at this moment. Otherwise, they would die even faster. Jiang Chen and Xueqi were at the back and were completely isolated. However, Xueqi was extremely powerful. He was even more powerful than those elders. He was able to protect Jiang Chen with ease. These skeletons seemed to have been stimulated by something. That's why they suddenly rose up from the ground. Xueqi said in a deep voice. Jiang Chen did not stay idle. He stood back to back and helped Xueqi to push back the skeletons of demonic beasts. Jiang Chen's punch was invincible. The skeletons of demonic beasts in front of him could not even withstand a single punch from him. Xueqi was slightly surprised. Jiang Chen was very powerful. Although he was only a late heavenly god, he was able to smash the skeletons of demonic beasts that even a Divine King realm expert could not handle with a single punch. He must be extraordinary. It should be the power of the vengeful spirits. If I'm not wrong, these skeletons should be covered by a great formation. It's not the Dragon Clan's forbidden curse. Instead, it's another spirit formation. This spirit formation's purpose is to gather the power of these white bones vengeful spirits. Once the formation core is destroyed, they will attack together. These vengeful spirits' power is extremely difficult to deal with, because they are born out of necessity. The spirit formation makes them even more powerful. Jiang Chen said in a low voice. He did not hold back at all as he smashed the skeletons in front of him again and again. He looked further away. He and Xueqi took care of each other. Although there was a huge difference in their strength, they were the most relaxed partners. The rest of the skeletons besieged Dong Xueqi, Long Xiaotan and the others. Wave after wave of attacks made it difficult for them. Even if they could shatter the skeletons, it was impossible for them to fight endlessly when the skeletons came one after another. Moreover, their safe zone was getting smaller and smaller. If this continues, we will be engulfed by the waves of skeletons. Long Xiaotan looked extremely serious and solemn. There's nothing we can do. These skeletons of demonic beasts are already dead. They're probably being controlled. We can't change it at all. Dong Xueqi said in a low voice. Everyone was trying their best to kill the skeletons. But who would have thought that such a huge movement would be caused by them? Chapter 26-24. White bones were everywhere. Jiang Chen and Xueqi walked forward step by step, crushing countless white bones. The scene was getting more and more intense. Bai Qi tightly gripped the white jade box in his hand and suddenly turned around to look. Countless white bones had already broken through the doors of the Divine Dragon Palace and arrived one after another. They brought with them an unparalleled berserk power as they engulfed everyone. These are the white bones that we saw before? He Cha said in shock. Yes. Even thousands of years could not corrode their bones. I'm afraid that these beasts were at least above the Divine King realm when they were alive. Yin Hun said in a low voice. There were also dozens of white skeletons falling from the sky. The battle that they were facing was equally shocking. Go all out. These white skeletons are not ordinary beasts. They should be formed by the power of the vengeful spirits. Bai Qi shouted. Li Jingdong and Feng Xingli's expression became serious. The 8 of them surrounded the white skeletons together to resist the attack of the white skeletons. These white skeletons that have been dead for thousands of years, how did they become so terrifying all of a sudden? Feng Xingli said in shock. It's hard to say. These white skeletons are very strange. We don't have any way to deal with them. We can only break them with force. Li Jingdong said in a deep voice. Could it be the white jade box in Mr. Bai's hand? Lei Peng said in a deep voice. Bai Qi's expression changed. He also realized this point. From the moment he forcefully took the white jade square box from the pile of human bones, the entire Divine Dragon Palace started to shake. The countless white skeletons were actually charging towards them. It's possible. Bai Qi said softly. However, it was too late to say anything now. They could only defeat the skeletons. Otherwise, it would be almost impossible for them to escape. However, the endless skeletons were like fish in a river. Even though they were all divine kings, they were still struggling to deal with them. They could only retreat helplessly. They seemed to be in an extremely difficult situation. Dong Xueqi, Long Xiaotan, Jining Qi and the others were already in a difficult situation. But they had no way to kill these white skeletons. They were in a deadlock. Although the disciples could help the Divine King Realm Elders, it was like trying to put out a burning cart of firewood with a cup of water. Brother Z, please protect me. I want to see if my trigram fire formation can restrain them. Jiang Chen looked at Xueqi. All right. Xueqi nodded silently. He helped Jiang Chen to retreat from the dozens of white skeletons, so that Jiang Chen had enough space to cast a formation. Jiang Chen believed that the 5-elemental trigram fire formation could burn these white skeletons with the 5-elemental true fire. Xueqi didn't doubt Jiang Chen's words. He had seen Jiang Chen repairing the teleportation formation before, and he was really impressed by him. If Jiang Chen wanted to kill all the skeletons with his strength alone, Xueqi might doubt it. However, Xueqi believed that Jiang Chen had the confidence to do it since Jiang Chen had cast a formation. In the Divine Dragon Palace, Bai Qi also had his own idea. Watch my Great Gale formation. Bai Qi found an opportunity and instantly broke through the siege of the white skeletons. With the Divine Dragon Palace as the base, he started to set up a formation. The white skeletons only knew how to attack blindly, and they could not stop Bai Qi from setting up the formation. As soon as the 5-elemental trigram fire formation's terrifying 5-elemental true fire was released, those white skeletons instantly turned into a pile of bone powder. Jiang Chen controlled the 5-elemental trigram fire formation and expanded it continuously. Those white skeletons that were charging towards him were like moths flying into a flame. They were instantly crushed by the 5-elemental trigram fire formation. However, they were all turned into ashes under the power of the 5-elemental trigram fire formation. This fella's formation is quite effective. Xueqi heaved a sigh of relief. Because the 5-elemental trigram fire formation had destroyed most of the white skeletons, they finally saw a glimmer of hope. This fella is getting more and more impressive, Donghuang Taiji said faintly. Although he was unwilling to admit it, Jiang Chen's strength did make him feel a sense of fear. It was definitely not luck that Jiang Chen was able to defeat him. Looks like your Eastern Emperor sect has really produced a monstrous genius, Long Xiaoten said in a deep voice, extremely envious and jealous. However, the Nine Dragon Palace was not weak either. Under the joint attack of Donghuang Xueqi and Long Xiaotan, they managed to protect the disciples of the 8 great sections. Meanwhile, Jiang Chen's 5-elemental trigram fire formation destroyed all the white skeletons. On the other side, Bai Qi was doing the same. Terrifying wind blades tore through the void. The interior of the Divine Dragon Palace had been turned into ruins. However, countless skeletons had been killed. As the white skeletons were destroyed, the IC Divine Dragon Palace returned to its previous tranquility. Haha, it's all thanks to Jiang Chen. Otherwise, I'm afraid that all of us would have died here. Yeah, it's all thanks to Jiang Chen. Even us elders are not as good as him. Haha. A fire formation to destroy all these white skeletons. Eastern Emperor sect is indeed one of the great sects in the Qilian boundary. They have the demeanor of a great sect. What's there to be proud of? TSK. It's just a broken formation. Without a formation, how are you going to fight against the people here? Shen Fenghe and the others looked at Jiang Chen in disdain. At this moment, Jiang Chen and the Eastern Emperor sect had become the target of everyone's admiration. Jiang Chen was like a bodhisattva that saved people from suffering. This made the people of Shening sect even more unhappy. They had always minded their own business with Jiang Chen. Now, they hated Jiang Chen even more. Even though Jiang Chen had saved their lives, Xueqi would have done the same even if he wasn't there. At least, he would have done his best to protect himself. Zishi also admired Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen's strength was the weakest amongst the group, but he was the most respectable one. Whether it was the destruction of the white skeletons or the restoration of the teleportation formation, Jiang Chen did it with a strong sense of righteousness without asking for anything in return. Jiang Chen, you've really impressed me. Zishi stared at Jiang Chen and agreed with him. That kind of recognition came from having the same status as him. I'm glad to be recognized by the young city lord. Ha! Jiang Chen said with a smile. Zishi's strength was not ordinary and he was not arrogant or conceited. He was very close to Jiang Chen. Although they had not known each other for long, he gave Jiang Chen a sense of closeness compared to those great sections. Li Jingdong. Feng Xingli. It's really you guys. Long Xiaoten took the lead and went to the front. He saw Li Jingdong and Feng Xingli at first glance. Li Jingdong and Feng Xingli were stunned by Long Xiaotan's words. Even Donghuang Xueqi and the others quickly went to the Divine Dragon Palace. It's really them? Heavenly Profound Sect and Killing Luo Sect. Chapter 26-25. Ha ha ha, it's really fate. Everyone, I didn't expect that you could come to the Thunder Rush Sea. It's really an eye-opener for me. Feng Xingli sneered with a hint of disdain. He snorted as he looked at Bai Qi. Bai Qi had destroyed the teleportation formation, but they still came to the Thunder Rush Sea. Bai Qi's face was also extremely unsightly. He could not believe it. Even a Grandmaster formation expert might not be able to repair the teleportation formation so quickly. It's impossible. How did you come here? The teleportation formation has been destroyed. Formation Demon Bai Qi Lung said. Formation Demon, that's all you've got. Is it so difficult for you to repair the teleportation formation? You're qualified to be called Formation Demon. What a joke. Hehe. Jiang Chen and Bai Qi looked at each other. Bai Qi knew that the teleportation formation must have been repaired by this bastard. But how could he do it with his strength? Boy, it seems that you're here to court death. Do you think that anyone can come to the Thunder Rush Sea? Bai Qi said disdainfully. He was extremely cold to Donghuang Xueqi and the others. It seems that you've ignored our agreement. How dare you collude with Formation Demon to stop us from entering the Thunder Rush Sea? Li Jingdong, Feng Xingli, you two really have a good plan. Long Xiaoten said in a deep voice. It's a pity that you're one step behind us. We're still here. Dong Xueqi said calmly. What's the use of arguing with them since things had already come to this stage? Now that they were in the Wind and Thunder Canyon, it was impossible for them to really fight. Moreover, the two most authoritative sects among the top 10 sects were undoubtedly powerful. Coupled with the Array Demon, such a lineup was not something that they could casually face. Formation Demon, Tianxian sect and Killing Luo sect are getting more and more presumptuous. What do you think of the City Lord Mansion? She was infuriated. It was obvious that the two great sects had colluded with the Formation Demon to destroy the teleportation formation in order to take the treasures of the Thunder Rush Sea for themselves. Moreover, it was said that a rare treasure had appeared in the Thunder Rush Sea this time. Everyone's greed had swelled to the extreme. Since that's the case, it seems like our plan has been seen through. That's fine too. Now that the 10 sects have gathered, let's start from zero. Ha! Feng Xingli laughed and said. Facing so many experts, the Killing Luo sect and the Tianxian sect could still walk leisurely. Only these two sects could do that. Looks like you guys are prepared to become enemies with the entire Qilian boundary. She stared at Feng Xingli and the others. You can eat whatever you want, but you can't say whatever you want. Young City Lord, when did you see me going against the entire Qilian boundary? We are just a clumsy bird that flies early, coming to the Thunder Rush Sea in the first year. Could it be that there is a rule that we must go through the teleportation array to enter the Thunder Rush Sea? I've never heard of this before. Li Jingdong said. Humph. What a glib tongue. But I'd like to see what kind of tricks you guys have up your sleeves. She was speechless after hearing Li Jingdong's words. Indeed, what's wrong with them not going through the teleportation array to come to the Thunder Rush Sea? Jiang Chen looked at this scene silently. Every one of them was a big shot of the 10 sects, the cornerstone of the Qilian boundary. The battle had ended before it even started. No matter if it was the Eastern Emperor sect, Shening sect or the Nine Dragon Palace, none of them could go against the two sections. Moreover, the City Lord's mansion did not have enough strength. She alone was not enough to go against the two sects, not to mention the Formation Demon. This battle had become a real balance. If that's the case, the two sects are just a step ahead of us. It's not a big deal. Ji Ningqi said faintly. Li Jingdong and Feng Xingli were extremely satisfied. This Shening sect is really good at behaving. That's right. Could it be that the Thunder Rush Sea has become your private garden? Hehe. The agreement between the 10 sects has existed since the ancient times. What's the big deal about this? Xin Fenghe agreed. Except for Dong Xueqi and Long Xiaotan, everyone else chose to remain silent. After all, the other party was stronger than them. Now, even the Shening sect could only stand on the side of the two sections. Even if the Eastern Emperor sect and the Nine Dragon Palace were strong enough, it would still be difficult for them to go against the two sections. After all, the situation was worse than the people. Humph. Don't forget that you almost couldn't come here. If it wasn't for Jiang Chen, you guys would have been killed by the white skeletons. Long Xinghua's beautiful eyes flickered. Even she could not turn into the messenger of justice. It was indeed difficult for these shameless people to turn back. You can't say that. We survived with our own strength. Why should we thank him? Who does he think he is? Ha ha. Shen Fenghe's smile became more and more sinister. His terrifying face was fully displayed at this moment. They had completely forgotten about Jiang Chen's kindness. This is the difference between a man and a dog. If you fight with a dog, you'll only be left with a mouthful of hair. Jiang Chen sneered. He would tear a scumbag like Shen Fenghe into pieces sooner or later. It was just not the right time yet. Who are you calling a dog? Shen Fenghe glared at him. Whoever answered is a dog. Do you still need to explain? Jiang Chen said disapprovingly. Shen Fenghe approached Jiang Chen again but was stopped by Ji Ningqi. Now the most important thing for us is to unite. Since we have come this far, I believe that no one is willing to continue to fight. After all, our time is limited. If we continue to fight, both sides will suffer. There won't be any result. Why don't we work together? What's more, we still have to experience the baptism of wind and thunder in the Wind and Thunder Cliff. Ji Ningqi smiled and said, acting as a peacemaker. After all, Jiang Chen had saved them before. Even if he was a wolf, he couldn't turn his gun to Jiang Chen at this time. Otherwise, it would definitely arouse public anger. Ji Ningqi couldn't wait to split open the brain of this brainless Shen Fenghe to see if it's a pig's brain or a paste. Everyone was silent, including Xueqi, because the current situation was indeed like this. Only by working together with sincerity could they find the real treasure. The Ice Sea Divine Dragon Palace must be an extraordinary place. Even Xueqi hoped to obtain the treasure in the Ice Sea Divine Dragon Palace. Chapter 26-26. They were ready to go deeper into the Divine Dragon Palace. But at this moment, the skull of the human skeleton on the dragon throne fell down and rolled more than 10 meters away. At this moment, everyone looked at the skull and felt a chill down their spines. All the skeletons of the demon beasts have been crushed. Why is this human skeleton still intact? Jiang Chen frowned. He had to admit that this was something worth investigating. This skeleton must be extraordinary. What a good skeleton. Let me see what kind of monster you are. Bai Qi clenched his fist and punched the skeleton. The skull was still intact. Everyone was shocked. Jiang Chen's eyes lit up. He looked at the spine behind the skeleton. It carried an inexplicable attractive force. Jiang Chen's mind was shaken. He unleashed his terrifying soul energy, but he couldn't force the spine to reveal its true form. A terrifying soul energy gushed out from the spine like a tidal wave. Jiang Chen was forced to take a step back, and his face turned pale. What's wrong with you? Xueqi asked in a deep voice. Jiang Chen's strange change made him feel as if he was facing a formidable enemy. Jiang Chen shook his head and fixed his eyes on the spine, because that was where the true energy was. When Jiang Chen touched it, the terrifying energy that burst out from the spine was discovered by everyone. Jiang Chen shook his head and stared at the spine. That spine is extraordinary. Take the spine with all your strength. Haha, it turns out that the true essence of this skeleton is the spine. However, when everyone was about to snatch it away, Jiang Chen had already made his move. He took a step forward and casted the Great Void technique to the extreme. Even Bai Qi was a step slower. Jiang Chen held the spine bone tightly in his hand. It was as majestic as the ocean. It shocked Jiang Chen even more. This spine bone was extraordinary and it shocked him even more. Dong Xueqi, Ji Ningqi, Long Xiaotan, Li Jingdong and Feng Xingli were all defeated. That thing is not something you can possess. Hand it over and I can spare your life. Li Jingdong said in a deep voice as he stared at the spine in Jiang Chen's hand. Brat, don't you understand the logic of being greedy and insatiable? You want to keep that spine for yourself? Why don't you see if you can swallow it? Feng Xingli sneered. You don't have the qualifications to possess that thing. Hand it over now and you can be spared from death. Otherwise, if you stubbornly resist, you should know that the only result will be a tragic death. Your strength is not bad, but compared to these elders, you are still too weak. You helped us to enter the Thunder Rush Sea, we are also grateful, but this thing, you can't swallow it. Ji Ningqi tried to persuade him out of goodwill. You don't have to worry about that. If you want the thing in my hand, it's not impossible, unless you kill me. Jiang Chen was dismissive of them. You're courting death. Ji Ningqi continued. Who can you blame for being stubborn? Then go to hell. Feng Xingli stepped on the air and his terrifying strength of a divine king realm crushed the void, aiming at Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen felt that he was locked on by a terrifying divine king realm expert. If you want to touch the people of my Eastern Emperor sect, should you ask for my permission first? Dong Xueqi said calmly as he struck out a palm to fight against Feng Xingli. How dare you? Dong Xueqi. Do you really want to go against the Killing Luo sect? Feng Xingli looked at Dong Xueqi with disdain. As an elder, it's my duty to protect the disciples of the sect. Dong Xueqi's words touched Jiang Chen. Regardless of how powerful the Eastern Emperor sect was or how powerful Dong Xueqi was, Jiang Chen felt a sense of warmth from Dong Xueqi's protective aura. Let's see how many of us you can beat. Li Jingdong's long legs swept across the sky with lightning speed. After images of his legs appeared one after another, forcing Jiang Chen to take another step back. Long Xiaotan appeared out of nowhere and forced Li Jingdong to take a step back. However, he did not fare any better as he staggered backwards and stood side by side with Dong Xueqi. The Eastern Emperor sect is so powerful that even the Nine Dragon Palace is on your side. Li Jingdong gritted his teeth. I can't represent the entire Nine Dragon Palace, but I can represent myself. Jiang Chen has saved my life. How can I just watch him be in danger and do nothing? Ha! Long Xiaotan's fearlessness made those who were indebted to Jiang Chen feel ashamed of their inferiority. Jingnan, Xingzhen, Li Jingdong and Feng Xingli looked behind them at the same time. The other two elders of the Heavenly Profound sect and the Killing Luo sect also attacked without hesitation. Li Jingnan is here. Feng Xingzhen is here. Both of them were the mainstays of their sections. They were determined to kill Jiang Chen and take back the spine. Xueqi fought against two Divine King Realm experts at the same time with lightning-fast means. It was shocking. The City Lord's mansion is here. Who dares to make a move? Heavenly Profound sect, Killing Luo sect, if you dare to touch Jiang Chen, you're not putting the City Lord's mansion in your eyes. In the future, the City Lord's mansion will pay a visit to both sections. Xueqi's boldness shocked everyone. At this moment, Li Jingdong and Feng Xingli fell into silence. Xueqi's forceful entry made them feel awkward. Moreover, he declared war against the two sects in the name of the City Lord's mansion. At this moment, even they had to consider the situation of the Qilian boundary after leaving the Thunder Rush Sea. After all, the prestige of the Reverend of the Nine Boundaries was not just for show. The Reverend of the Nine Boundaries was the target of worship in the entire Qilian boundary. Who would dare to disobey him? Jiang Chen smiled. So what if it's the Heavenly Profound sect and the Killing Luo sect? As the number 1 and number 2 great sect, what else could they do? Just when he was about to keep the spine, he was sent flying by a terrifying force. Fortunately, Jiang Chen was prepared and was not injured. He just looked a little embarrassed. Jiang Chen wiped the blood off the corner of his mouth. His eyes were filled with killing intent. If he was a little slower, his head would have been separated from his body. Everyone held their breath and looked at the blue-clothed young man who suddenly appeared. His white pupils emitted a black demonic aura as he stared at Jiang Chen, breaking the deadlock. Give it to me. What if I don't? Jiang Chen did not give any face to the blue-clothed young man. However, his appearance had caused a commotion among the crowd. Then die. The blue-clothed young man said faintly. He took a step and moved closer to Jiang Chen. His Great Void technique was comparable to Jiang Chen's Great Void technique. His palm was like lightning, clashing with Jiang Chen's fist. Jiang Chen was pushed back and looked a little embarrassed. Such a terrifying fella. I'm afraid that even I can't catch up to his speed. Chapter 26-27. Not bad. Late Heavenly God Realm. You're quite capable to survive my palm strike. The young man in blue said quietly. He seemed to be interested in Jiang Chen. Xueqi was even more shocked. Even he could not see through this mid-divine king realm expert. This young man was indeed extraordinary. Jiang Chen was also on high alert. This young man was actually a mid-divine king realm expert. However, Xueqi and Bai Qi had to take him seriously. Even if Jiang Chen used his dragon transformation, he would not be able to gain the upper hand against that young man's palm strike. Who the hell are you? Jiang Chen said. This young man was mysterious. He did not even know where he came from. You lowly clans are not qualified to know about my existence. The young man in blue was still as arrogant as ever. He took a step forward, causing the wind and thunder to rumble. This fella is really arrogant. Dong Huang Taiji's eyes turned cold as he glanced at Murong Yun Long Xinghua and the others. He then attacked together with the other two experts from the Nine Dragon Palace towards the young man in blue. Wait! Jiang Chen shouted. However, it was too late. Dong Huang Taiji and the others were pushed back by the young man in blue. They all suffered different degrees of injuries. The two experts from the Nine Dragon Palace were killed on the spot. Long Xinghua's face turned gloomy as her injuries were not light. Dong Huang Taiji and Murong Yun were on the verge of death. Damn it! Jiang Chen flicked his finger and 3 spirit-severing life-prolonging pills were thrown into Dong Huang Taiji and the others' mouths. The 3 of them ate the spirit-severing life-prolonging pills and recovered quite a bit of their strength. After all, it was an immortal-grade pill. Not bad. Giving away immortal-grade pills like candy. You're really generous. The young man in blue said. Everyone then realized that Jiang Chen had given away 3 immortal-grade pills with just a flick of his finger. Dong Huang Taiji felt inferior to Jiang Chen. Thank you. Long Xinghua looked at Jiang Chen with gratitude. Scram. The blue-clothed youngster struck out with his palm. This time, his target was surprisingly Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen retreated. His complexion was gloomy and terrifying. True dragon's palm. Jiang Chen once again blocked the blue-clothed youth's palm. However, he hurriedly retreated. It seemed that his strength was not equal to his desire. However, it wasn't that Jiang Chen was no match for the blue-clothed youth. Rather, he knew that he was still far from having to risk his life against the blue-clothed youth. Since you can take 2 of my palms, let's see how you deal with the third one. Profound formation thunderclap palm. Chu Tianshu's pupils shrunk as she stood in front of Jiang Chen. She was holding a white jade folding fan and clashed with the blue-clothed young man. She was pushed back by the blue-clothed young man, but she managed to block the devastating palm strike. Edited by Lifer, Fingerfox. What a good Xian formation thunder palm. What brings you guys here? This is just a small thunder rush. See? Is it worth the Battle God clan's attention? Chu Tianshu said silently. The palm strike just now seemed to be evenly matched. However, she was slightly injured. This blue-clothed youngster was terrifying. Battle God clan? Jiang Chen was shocked. Do Hongming was a member of the Battle God clan. Could it be that this fella came here to seek revenge? To think that there are people who know their stuff. Hand it over. I don't want to kill the innocent. Killing some trash will only dirty my hands. Only the strong deserve to die in my hands. Battle God clan. Do Ling. Who are you? You must be extraordinary to be able to see through my profound formation thunderclap palm. The blue-clothed youngster smiled. His smile was mellow, but in everyone's eyes, he was a devil from hell. A nobody. Chu Tianshu said. Battle God clan? Is he really from that clan? Li Jingdong and Feng Xingli looked at each other and took a deep breath. As the 2 strongest sects in the Chilean boundary, they knew about the existence of the Battle God clan. Dong Huang Xueqi and Long Xiaotan were also shocked. The Battle God clan was an ancient clan. They usually wouldn't get involved in the disputes of the secular world. Their attitude was that they disdained to be associated with the common people. The Battle God clan was an existence that was on par with the Luo God clan. They were one of the ancient god clans. Their background was not something that a small boundary could contend against. Here's the thing. Jiang Chen looked at Li Jingdong and the others with greedy eyes. He was also shocked by the blue-clothed youngster, Do Ling. He knew that this fella had an extraordinary background. Therefore, he didn't need to keep the spine with him. It was a great crisis for him. Everyone was pointing their spears at him. Jiang Chen wanted to throw this hot potato away. Moreover, Li Jingdong and the others would definitely not let this matter go. This was the most important thing for him. He would only be able to reap the benefits when the dogs bite each other. Since Do Ling was so interested in the spine, Jiang Chen might as well take advantage of the situation and give him the spine. At that time, he would become the target of everyone. That's right. A wise man submits to circumstances. You should have done this earlier. Do Ling took the spine with a slight smile on his face. However, I still don't intend to let you lowly fellas go. Especially since you dare to covet my ancestor's item. Give me the jade box in your hand and I might let you die with a complete corpse. Do Ling faced Bai Qi. At the moment when their eyes met, there were bright sparks in their eyes. You want the jade box in my hand? Dream on. Bai Qi harumphed coldly. He was not as weak as Jiang Chen in front of the arrogant Do Ling. Since you insist on courting death, I will fulfill your wish. Do Ling looked calm as he approached Bai Qi. Both of them started a terrifying battle. Logically speaking, Bai Qi was not weak as he was the formation demon that even the Chilean region feared. However, he was only a mid-divine king. He was at a disadvantage in the battle with Do Ling. Do Ling managed to force Bai Qi to the point where his face turned pale and he was exhausted. Guys, what are you waiting for? This guy is too arrogant. He will kill all of us. This is our only chance. If I die, you guys won't be able to live for long. Li Jingdong, Feng Xingli. What are you guys waiting for? Looking at Bai Qi's miserable appearance, Jiang Chen smiled. He was happy to watch from the sidelines. Li Jingdong and Feng Xingli were different. If Bai Qi was defeated, they would not have a good time. Plus, they would not let that young man take away such a good item. So what if he was from the Battle God clan? Who would dare to spread the news if they killed him here? Moreover, he was not going to let any of them go. Mr. Bai, we are here to help you. Haha. Chapter 26-28. Li Jingdong, Li Jingnan, Feng Xingli, Feng Xingzhen. The 4 mid-divine king realm experts closed in on Douling. The 5 of them instantly pushed Douling back and surrounded him. Even Douling looked solemn. It's good that you've come. I also want to see what kind of true experts you have in your corner of the world. Douling smiled proudly as he charged forward with a sharp gaze. Let's go deeper. Looks like there's nothing good here. Heicha said. You're right. Lei Peng looked at the battle between the elders and Douling. Even the 5 of them couldn't do anything to Douling. We're wasting our time here. Why don't we go look for the real treasure? Yin Hun said. The 3 of them looked at each other and quickly went deeper. Chu Tianshu squinted her eyes as she saw the movements of the 3 of them. Many of the people around her also had an indifferent attitude as they followed closely behind. When Yin Hun and the other 2 entered deeper into the palace, they were also prepared to fight at any time. Haha, it's so lively, even the Battle God clan is here. Looks like there's going to be something good in the Thunder Rush Sea this time. A wild, deafening laugh rang out. An eagle flapping its wings instantly turned into a human. He had a hooked nose and a skinny figure. However, his eyes were as deep as the stars in the sky. He gave off a strong demonic aura, and his feathers were extremely sharp. Kid from the Battle God clan, if you hand over that spine bone in your hand, I might be able to help you destroy all of them. What do you think? Dream on. Douling looked at the eagle in disdain and said coldly. Looks like it's not just the 10 great sects this time. There are many hidden forces that have their eyes on the Thunder Rush Sea. Jiang Chen said. This fella should be the strongest expert of the Thunder Rush Sea, Ing Chen. Legend has it that he's already at the late Divine King realm and possesses a trace of the Heavenly Rock's bloodline. He's extremely fast. Ordinary late Divine Kings can't even catch his shadow. Zishi said. It's Ing Chen. Dong Xueqi said in a deep voice. Long Xiaotan's eyes turned cold. In the past, he was almost killed by Ing Chen. If it wasn't for Dong Xueqi's help, he would have died. Enemies are bound to meet on a narrow road. Long Xiaotan took a step forward with a serious look in his eyes. He would definitely not let go of this opportunity. To think that he had endured humiliation all those years ago and escaped from his hands. Now, they actually met again in this Thunder Rush Sea. Needless to say, this was the teasing of fate. Dong Xueqi pressed on Long Xiaotan's shoulder tightly. He could feel the rage and anger deep inside Long Xiaotan's heart. Brother Long, don't let your emotions affect your decisions. Long Xiaotan let out a bitter laugh. He even looked a little sad. Xiaoyu, the person who killed you is right in front of me, but I can only look at him. I can't accept this. I can't accept this. Long Xiaotan was extremely sad. Back then, his beloved woman was killed by Ing Chen's sharp claws. Now that he recalled that scene, it was extremely tragic. Although Long Xiaotan had survived, he still couldn't forget the torment he had suffered for so many years. He always remembered it. There was a voice in the depths of his heart telling him, "You must never forget this deep hatred." An eagle that has become a spirit dares to call itself a master? What a joke. Douling sneered. He was extremely disdainful towards Ing Chen. Then, let's see how you're going to be played to death by these guys. Ing Chen's eyes were like lightning as he sneered, watching Douling fight against the 5 experts as if he was watching a show. However, Douling's strength was not without reason. Even the 5 experts could not suppress Douling. On the contrary, they fell into Douling's trap. Douling set up a formation, and once the formation was formed, Bai Qi and the other 4 experts became his puppets. Just a bunch of ants. What can they do to me? Ha! Douling was insufferably arrogant. In the maze formation, Douling was fighting 5 people at once, completely suppressing Bai Qi and the others. They couldn't retaliate at all and could only take a beating. Even the formation demon Bai Qi couldn't see through Douling's formation and was trapped by it. Although Bai Qi looked calm, it didn't mean that he could break through the formation. Brother Z, go and help the elders of the other 2 sections. After all, we'll be implicated if they lose. Jiang Chen said to Zishi. Zishi pondered for a moment and nodded silently. Jiang Chen was right. Douling might not let them go if they were defeated. Moreover, their combat strength was not that different. It was not enough to change the outcome of the battle. Dou Ling's expression became solemn as Xueqi took action. A late divine king expert like Xueqi was not someone to be trifled with. Even Dou Ling had to be careful against him. Xueqi held the silver spear in his hand and the spear shaft was bright red. With a shake of the spear, it pierced through the horizon. Dou Ling's formation started to tremble at this moment. Bai Qi and the other four felt Xueqi's help and started to retaliate. Dou Ling was powerful, but it was a little difficult for him to fight against 5 people and Xueqi. Ha ha ha. How about now? Battle God Clan is just a... Looks like the Battle God Clan is just a bunch of useless people. They can't be compared to the glory of the ancient Battle God Clan. Ing Chen shook his head and continued to mock Dou Ling. Smelly old eagle. You'll be the first one I kill after I kill them. Dou Ling turned around and his blue robe fluttered. However, he was sent flying by Xueqi. Ing Chen, watch my blade. Long Xiaoten couldn't hold back his anger and charged towards Ing Chen. At this moment, Dong Huang Xueqing sighed. Looks like Long Xiaotan was blinded by hatred. You dare to provoke me? You're courting death. Ing Chen roared and his feather flashed, forcing Long Xiaotan to retreat. I was wondering who it was. Turns out it's just a rotten fish that escaped from my hands. Hee. How disappointing. Ing Chen sneered. Bastard. I'll use your blood to pay for Xiao Yu's soul. A debt of blood must be paid with blood. Long Xiaotan attacked again. However, he was not the late divine King Ing Chen's opponent at all. He was defeated by Ing Chen in just 2 rounds. Love is a chivalrous man. Jiang Chen looked at Long Xiaotan silently. He knew that Long Xiaotan was a man who hated evil as if it was his own enemy. Not to mention Jiang Chen's deep hatred towards him. Such an infatuated man should die on the battlefield even if he had to die. Chapter 26-29. Go and look for the treasures. Leave this to us. Remember, don't embarrass our Scorpio sect. My Dusk Cloud sect does not raise useless people. Since you're the prodigies of our sect, I believe you all understand the current situation. All of you go. The elders of the various sects dismissed their disciples and stayed behind. A total of more than 10 elders joined hands to fight against Ing Chen. They weren't helping Long Xiaotan, they were helping themselves. Long Xiaotan had some feelings, but Ing Chen didn't have any leeway. You bunch of lunatics, I haven't even settled the score with you and you're already biting me. I'll let all of you die here today. Since you've come to the Thunder Rush Sea, you'll all become corpses at the bottom of the sea. Ing Chen let out a long cry. He fought against 10 of them alone. He was truly powerful. More than 10 divine kings from the 10 great sects could not make Ing Chen bow down to them. I'll definitely take my revenge today. Long Xiaotan's eyes were filled with hatred. He had already surpassed his own strength to fight with his life on the line. Even if he were to die, he would live for his own glory. Jiang Chen looked at Long Xinghua, Dong Huang Taiji and the others and said, It's useless for us to stay here, at least we won't be at a disadvantage now. Let's go and see what's inside. The other 3 also expressed their agreement. The 3 of them quickly caught up with the previous group and headed deeper into the Divine Dragon Palace. I can feel an enormous energy, it seems to be deeper. He Cha squinted his eyes and smiled brightly. I can feel it too. It seems to be the treasury of the Ice Sea Divine Dragon Palace. Lei Peng said. How can we return empty-handed after entering a treasure mountain? Yin Hun revealed a long-lost smile. The 3 of them took the lead and charged a few thousand meters ahead. In the depths of the palace, layers of foundation stones were shattered. A huge treasury appeared in front of everyone. There were countless divine origin stones, countless of them. There were countless rare and wondrous herbs. Some of them had long withered, while others were still blossoming with divine splendor, verdant and glistening. There were also some that were even slowly growing. There were 9 whole corals at the bottom of the sea, daffodil seaweed that could detoxify 100 poisons, spiritual objects everywhere. This truly was a treasure trove. Golden light shone brilliantly, dazzling the eyes with a dazzling lineup. Countless divine weapons, countless divine weapons, countless heavenly divine weapons. Some of them had lost their luster, but some were still as sharp as before. There were countless medicinal pills with pill fragrance that refreshed one's mind. There were countless top-grade medicinal pills, and there was no lack of immortal-grade treasures. Just looking at them made one salivate. Yin Hun and the other two were dumbfounded. Such a huge treasure vault was probably even bigger than the treasure vault of their sect that had been passed down for thousands of years. Shock. Other than shock, there was more shock. This really is the Dragon Clan's treasure. This is the first time I've seen so many treasures. I'm going to be rich. Ha ha ha, I'm going to be rich. These things are all ours now. Ha ha. I want that heavenly divine weapon battle armor. I want it. That bottle of immortal-grade medicinal pills is mine. After Yin Hun, Jiang Chen and the others also entered the treasure vault. The moment the treasure appeared, even Jiang Chen was shocked. Even though he had a lot of treasures with him, compared to the treasure vault in front of him, it was like comparing a grain of rice to a bright moon. This is really testing one's willpower, Jiang Chen said in his heart. The shock came from the bottom of his heart, but so did the greed and extravagance. Jiang Chen shook his head abruptly and realized that he was almost bewitched by the treasure. He was completely immersed in it and couldn't pull himself out. The treasure was like a gigantic mirror, sucking people deeper and deeper into it. In the end, he would fall into eternal slumber and become a part of the treasure. Thinking about this, Jiang Chen's heart could not help but tremble. It's too terrifying. It's invisible. It's 1,000 times better than a formation. Jiang Chen could see that this was not an illusion, but it was much scarier than an illusion. The desire and greed could suck one's soul into it. One would be enslaved by greed for the rest of one's life, and eventually become a pile of bones. They could only see the boundless treasure vault, but they could not see the countless bones in it. In Jiang Chen's eyes, it was even more shocking. If it was not for his extraordinary soul strength, Jiang Chen might not be able to walk out from it so easily. Jiang Chen looked at the people around him. Their faces were filled with greed, as if they couldn't wait to put all these treasures into their own pockets. No one was an exception, because in front of so many treasures, their hearts had been completely conquered. Who could look down on the world and ignore these treasures? However, facing this scene that seemed like a formation yet not a formation, like an illusion yet not an illusion, Jiang Chen was secretly startled. There were many treasures, but only a few of them could move his heart. Most importantly, the skeletons on top of the treasures warned him that these things would not be easily obtained. Let's keep the divine origin stones and heavenly divine tools first. Jiang Chen kept all the high-grade divine origin stones into his pouch. More than 10 heavenly divine tools were also kept by him. Although they were all damaged to varying degrees, Jiang Chen believed that it would not be difficult for him to heal them. The only origin divine tool was a conch. Jiang Chen did not expect that conch to be so terrifying. It was not easy to refine it into an origin divine tool. There were also countless rare herbs. Jiang Chen only picked the best ones. Anything that was damaged would be thrown away by Jiang Chen. He didn't care about them at all. After Jiang Chen looted the treasures, he did not expect that Dong Huang Taiji would be the first one to come out from the illusion of greed. Dong Huang Taiji looked at Jiang Chen. He did not feel that what Jiang Chen did was wrong. He was just shocked that Jiang Chen had come out from the illusion of greed earlier than him. This is not an illusion, but it's better than an illusion. Because everyone's heart of greed is different. As long as there is desire and greed, one's soul will be sucked into it. Jiang Chen said, "In my heart, there is only martial Dao. I, Dong Huang Taiji, will become the strongest expert in the history of the Eastern Emperor sect and break through the divine martial Dao." Dong Huang Taiji said. His eyes were extremely sharp. When he looked at the endless treasures again, his heart was as calm as still water, without any desire. Chapter 26:30. Congratulations, Brother Taiji. You've broken through to the Divine King realm. Jiang Chen said with a smile. How? Why didn't the lightning tribulation appear? Dong Huang Taiji looked up and murmured. It should be because of the Ice Sea Divine Dragon Palace. He could avoid the heavenly lightning. That's why you didn't receive the lightning tribulation. Jiang Chen explained. I see. Dong Huang Taiji looked at Jiang Chen, not with gratitude, but with a terrifying battle intent. Haha, I'm not your enemy now. If you want to fight, I'll fight with you after we get out. Jiang Chen shook his head helplessly. Dong Huang Taiji is really obsessed with cultivation. He only cares about the divine martial Dao. Battle is the only Dao in his heart. It's a deal. When Dong Huang Taiji turned his head, He realized that even Murong Yun had fallen into it. Wake up! Dong Huang Taiji grabbed Murong Yun shoulder and shouted. However, his shout woke everyone up. Only 8 of them fell to the ground. At this moment, Jiang Chen finally understood that the souls of these 8 people had been devoured by this invisible treasure. They were already addicted to it and couldn't pull themselves out. How did this happen? Taiji? Murong Yun grabbed Dong Huang Taiji's hand and said, "It's all right." Dong Huang Taiji's chivalrous side made people feel warm. Shen Feng he shuddered as if he had just woken up from a dream. He looked at the people around him in shock. Some of them fell down, not knowing what happened. Some of them looked terrified. There were less than 10 of them left. The treasure was still in front of them, but none of them dared to move. Cha was sweating profusely. If it wasn't for Dong Huang Taiji's shout, he might have fallen into it forever. However, because of this he became more careful. Silver Soul Lei Peng. They saw boundless wealth but they couldn't see the bottomless abyss. What a lucky survivor. Li Peng was extremely excited. The 8 people who had already fallen to the ground had their souls sucked away, leaving behind only their stinky skin. Not long after, they would also become a pile of bones. How could this be? It's too scary. Why did all these people fall in the treasure trove? Could it be that even if they die, they have to die here? I feel like I've gone through a cycle of life and death. Sweat dripped down everyone's face. Only Jiang Chen and Dong Huang Taiji were calm. Even so, they were still looking at the wealth in front of them after they woke up. Since I'm already here, I can't come here for nothing. Ha! Someone took a step forward and began to collect the treasures. Shen Feng he was also not polite, and quickly began to collect the treasures, taking as much as he could. Everyone present was looking for treasures that were more worthy of them taking action. Jiang Chen took a step forward and stood in front of Shen Feng he. What do you want? Shen Feng he glared at Jiang Chen and said, You should know better than me. Jiang Chen smiled. I don't understand what you're talking about. I don't want to quarrel with you. If you're not going to do anything, don't disturb me. Shen Feng he was infuriated. He did not want to quarrel with Jiang Chen now, because he wanted to take all the treasures for himself. Really? I would like to see if you have the capability to do so. Shening sect, aren't you unhappy with me? What a coincidence. I am unhappy with you too. Jiang Chen stepped on the divine tool in front of Shen Feng he and looked at him provocatively. Don't think that I don't dare to touch you. If it wasn't for your luck, would I have been defeated by you? You're overestimating yourself. Today, I'll kill you first. Shen Feng he strode towards Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen remained calm and smiled. Just as Shen Feng he was about to reach him, he finally moved. Like a dragon emerging from the sea, his fists were cold and overbearing. Jiang Chen's punches landed on Shen Feng he's chest. Shen Feng he wanted to retreat, but it was already too late. Jiang Chen's attacks landed on him one after another. Shen Feng he didn't even have the strength to resist. He had completely become Jiang Chen's tool to vent his anger. Fist after fist, Shen Feng he couldn't do anything to Jiang Chen even with his divine skill. Jiang Chen smashed Shen Feng he's body. At that moment, even He Cha and the rest looked at Jiang Chen with interest. This guy is so bloody. It's refreshing to hear this from you. Lei Peng said in surprise. He Cha was not as kind as Jiang Chen. He was also the kind of person who would never show mercy to his enemies. He was exactly the same as Jiang Chen. He Cha's attitude towards Jiang Chen was similar. The moment Jiang Chen retracted his fist, everyone had a whole new level of respect for him. Shen Fenghe couldn't believe that his flesh and bones would be torn apart by Jiang Chen's punches even at the moment of his death. This kind of scum deserves to die, Jiang Chen said coldly. Lei Peng couldn't help but look at Jiang Chen again. This fellow was really in the limelight. He did not show any sign of cowardice in the Elder's battle. Moreover, he was able to kill a half-step divine king with his bare hands. He was indeed worthy of being taken seriously. He Cha sneered and looked at Jiang Chen with disdain. No matter how powerful he was, he only killed a half-step divine king. There's still a gap between him and a real divine king. Jiang Chen looked at Shen Feng he. Killing him was just for some peace. So what if he's dead? It's not a big deal. Disciples are forbidden to kill each other here. Aren't you afraid of starting a war? He Cha looked at Jiang Chen coldly. I, Jiang Chen, do not need to explain my actions to others. Jiang Chen's arrogance made everyone look at him in a new light. However, He Cha's eyes were filled with disdain. Seems like he's a troublemaker, Yin Hun said faintly, but he did not join the battle. Shen Fenghe was dead. His death was worthless. His death was not shocking at all. No one cared about it. Other than Jiang Chen, Dong Huang Taiji, Murong Yun Long Xinghua, Yin Hun, Wei Chongqing of the Mu Yun sect and Xueqi of the Scorpio sect. Other than Jiang Chen and Murong Yun the rest were all divine kings. However, Yin Hun and the others were obviously stronger than them. Jiang Chen found an ancient parchment scroll at the edge of the treasure vault, at a place where no one was paying attention to. It felt familiar, and when he held it in his hand, he realized that it was actually a map. Rushing Thunder Diagram. Jiang Chen's heart skipped a beat. Another Rushing Thunder Diagram. He already had 2 Rushing Thunder Diagrams. However, he did not know the secret of the Rushing Thunder Diagram. Until now, Jiang Chen's biggest gain was this Rushing Thunder Diagram. Although he did not know the value of the Rushing Thunder Diagram, he believed that once he found all of them, it would be something that others would never be able to achieve. Chapter 2631. Meet the Dragon Ball again. Chapter 2630. Dragon Ball again, Qiu. Is this IC Divine Dragon Palace Qiu's Divine Palace? Jiang Chen's eyes lit up. If this was Qiu's Divine Palace, then Qiu must have died here. Otherwise, Jiang Chen would not leave the endless treasures alone. But where was Qiu? Qiu was an ancient fierce beast, one of the 9 sons of the dragon. He was comparable to Yazi, Xuanni, Tao Tai and other invincible fierce beasts. Even ancient divine beasts could not withstand a single blow from them. Qiu was even more terrifying than Tao Tai. Jiang Chen knew how terrifying Tao Tai was, so he was extremely afraid of Qiu. He was sure that Qiu must have died here. The words on the tombstone were already blurred, but Jiang Chen was extremely shocked when he saw it. It was as if the tombstone was erected yesterday. Ancient fierce beast, if it was really Qiu's divine palace, then it was definitely a big gain. Jiang Chen was most concerned about the Dragon Ball in Qiu's body. On the Zulong Tower, there were 9 depressions, and one of the Dragon Balls was embedded in it. Jiang Chen believed that the other 8 depressions could also contain the Dragon Balls. At that time, the Zulong Tower would definitely be upgraded. The terrifying energy of the Dragon Balls was the combination of the energy of ancient fierce beasts. The Dragon Balls of the Dragon Clan were known as the world's enemy treasures. If the Dragon Balls were to appear, countless people would definitely go crazy. Jiang Chen thought of the Conch Origin Soul Tool and guessed that this should be Qiu's divine palace. Qiu was gentle and powerful, but he did not like worldly disputes. His biggest hobby was music. Perhaps only Qiu could collect a conch as an Origin Soul Tool. After Jiang Chen and the others collected a large number of treasures, they found an even more dazzling existence in front of them. It was right under the treasures. Jiang Chen also discovered this, and he was the first to sense the existence of the shining light. It seemed to be the Dragon Ball. Jiang Chen was at the forefront. Lei Peng did not hesitate and ran side by side with Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen used the Great Void technique several times to shake off Lei Peng and grab the dazzling Dragon Pearl. They really are Dragon Balls. Jiang Chen's heart skipped a beat. He recognized the Dragon Ball as he had obtained one before, so he was extremely sensitive to it. Especially after holding the Dragon Ball in his hands, Jiang Chen could feel the endless energy within the Dragon Ball. Even an ultimate god expert would be shocked to the point their jaws would drop, right? Good kid, you're quite fast. Hand over the thing in your hand. Lei Peng said in a deep voice. Why should I give you what's mine? Jiang Chen smiled. Since he had obtained the Dragon Ball, he would never hand it over. He was confident that no one could do anything to him in this space. You're playing with fire. Lei Peng looked at Jiang Chen coldly. Come and take it if you want it. Jiang Chen ignored everyone. Kid, you've been an eyesore for a long time. You're still acting so righteous after snatching something. Hee, if I don't teach you a lesson today, you'll never know how many eyes I have. He Cha was already rushing towards Jiang Chen. This fellow was in the limelight, and now he dared to snatch something from them. Yours? Why don't you come and try to snatch it? Jiang Chen held the Dragon Ball tightly and faced He Cha's attack fearlessly. Both of them were on par with each other. Zhang Chen was a late heavenly god, yet he fought against He Cha, who was an early divine king. Such a powerful fella. No wonder you're so confident. Lei Peng said faintly. Zhang Chen and He Cha exchanged blows without holding back. Zhang Chen had already shown He Cha what a true expert was with his physical strength. Plus, he didn't even use his dragon transformation. Sending a half-step divine king flying with a single punch was no joke. 3,000 Rakshasa palm. He Cha's palms were linked together as he flew. A violent palm wind whistled through the air, causing the surrounding air to surge. Divine origin energy poured out like a flood. Zhang Chen remained unmoved as he unleashed the 5-elemental combat dragon seal. He Cha and He Cha both retreated. He Cha's eyes became extremely cold. Little bastard, I don't believe that this He Cha can't do anything to you. He Cha clenched his hand and a 3-pronged demon trident appeared in his palm. Brat, eat my trident. The divine weapon in He Cha's hand was a heavenly divine weapon. The trident whistled through the air, emitting a powerful pressure that forced Zhang Chen to take a few steps back. Under its sharpness, it was invincible. Zhang Chen sneered as he held the heavenly dragon sword in his hand. The roar of a dragon was peerless and peerless. The sword hummed and trembled. The mightiness of the heavenly dragon sword was much more terrifying than the 3-pointed ghost trident. Sword and trident intertwined. Ice and fire collided. Zhang Chen roared in rage. Under the dragon transformation, he pushed He Cha back. The heavenly dragon sword was like a hot knife cutting through butter. Under the dragon transformation, Zhang Chen became even more ferocious. He Cha was finally defeated. But at this moment, Yin Hun could not stand it anymore. Big brother, what are you waiting for? Before He Cha could finish his words, Yin Hun had already arrived. The silver blade in his hand was like a ray of light, clashing against Zhang Chen's blade. Both of them retreated, none of them willing to give in to the other. Brat, you're quite powerful. Unfortunately, you're fated to die here today. Yin Hun said while caressing the silver blade in his hand. It was also a heavenly divine tool demon blade that had tasted countless blood. You're not the only one who said this. But those people are already dead. Zhang Chen and Yin Hun He Cha looked at each other. Their auras surged. Even though it was 1 against 2, they still showed their might. Killing Luo sect. Do you really think that there's no one in my Eastern Emperor sect? Dong Huang Taiji harumphed. He took a step forward and stood next to Zhang Chen. Although he was defeated by Zhang Chen and treated Zhang Chen as his enemy, he would not stand on the wrong side in front of a big fight. Thank you. Zhang Chen smiled. Eastern Emperor sect? Hehe. Interesting. Looks like you've just broken through to the Divine King realm. A guy who just broke through to the Divine King realm dares to fight me? Yin Hun looked at Dong Huang Taiji in disdain. In his eyes, Dong Huang Taiji was not on the same level as him. I'll leave him to you, He Cha. Alright. I might not be able to defeat that brat, but do you think I can't defeat you? Ha! He Cha launched a heavy punch and fought against Dong Huang Taiji. He became more arrogant. The anger that he felt from being suppressed by Zhang Chen was released at this moment. Chapter 26:32. Yin Hun looked at Zhang Chen. Zhang Chen would not be courteous to him. Zhang Chen, who had transformed into a dragon, held the heavenly dragon sword in his hand and wanted to compete with the heavens. Although Yin Hun was strong, he could not do anything to Zhang Chen. Falling light blade. 9 rays of ultimate blade light pierced through the void. Zhang Chen's sword shadow was ethereal and illusory. His sword of solitude swept across the void and was not at a disadvantage at all. Sword breaks the void. Heaven's will. Both of them retreated again, but Yin Hun was obviously in a worse state. Zhang Chen's late heavenly god strength had made the killing Luo sect's genius disciple nervous. Yin Hun's figures descended again, surrounding Zhang Chen and attacking his back. 9 phantom wolves. The 9 figures changed their positions and Yin Hun suddenly lost his target. When his attack landed on an afterimage, Zhang Chen moved. His heavenly dragon sword slashed towards Yin Hun with the momentum of the autumn wind sweeping the fallen leaves. Yin Hun turned his head and his expression changed drastically. He retreated continuously, but the sharpness of the sword chi still left a deep scar on his face. Yin Hun's mouth trembled slightly as he slowly raised his head. Lad, you forced me to do this. Too weak. Jiang Chen shook his head as if he was talking about something normal. Rakshasa ghost seal. Yin Hun suddenly rose from the ground and formed a seal with his hand. It was similar to the 5 elements and 8 trigrams, but it looked more like a sacrificial ritual. Jiang Chen squinted his eyes. The Rakshasa ghost seal in Yin Hun's hand arrived in an instant. Majestic shadows pierced through the void as if they wanted to devour Jiang Chen. The surroundings were filled with a cold and murderous aura. Buddha's radiance. Jiang Chen struck out a seal and merged with the Rakshasa ghost seal. Golden and black rays intertwined with each other. Yin Hun was defeated once again and was forced to retreat by Jiang Chen. The terrifying Rakshasa ghost seal was actually broken by Jiang Chen so easily. Yin Hun's face was as red as a pig's liver. He gritted his teeth as blood stained his face. Killing Rakshasa sect is only a... Jiang Chen shook his head. On the other side, the battle between Dong Huang Taiji and He Cha did not disappoint Jiang Chen. Although Dong Huang Taiji had just broken through to the Divine King realm, his potential was extraordinary. He Cha could not break through Dong Huang Taiji's defense even though he was extremely strong. Now it's my turn. Eastern Emperor Limitless Art. Dong Huang Taiji attacked fiercely with the Eastern Emperor Limitless Art, forcing He Cha to take a few steps back. Lei Peng knew that if he continued to remain silent, he would be helpless. Jiang Chen's strength was extraordinary, and now it seemed that they had indeed underestimated him. Thunder Palm. Lei Peng struck out 3 palms consecutively. Thunder and lightning streaked across the sky, forcing Jiang Chen to retreat. Jiang Chen's heavenly dragon sword cut through the 3 thunderbolts but failed to kill Yin Hun. Lei Peng had already appeared in front of him. Jiang Chen, don't forget that you're from the Eastern Emperor sect. Killing Yin Hun will only bring you harm. You have to think thrice before you act. Lei Peng said. I don't need you to tell me what to do. Jiang Chen did not give Lei Peng any face. So what if he was a genius disciple of the Heavenly Profound sect? If Jiang Chen did not like him, he would kill him as well. Humph, I would like to see how powerful you are. Yin Hun, let's join hands and kill this bastard. Otherwise, we won't have a good time. Yin Hun nodded silently and soared into the sky. The 2 of them fought Jiang Chen alone. Jiang Chen's expression was calm. However, Lei Peng and Yin Hun did have some ability when they joined hands. After all, they were the 2 genius disciples of the Killing Luo sect and Heavenly Profound sect. However, Jiang Chen did not show any weakness. The 2 of them were completely controlled by Jiang Chen and lost their initiative. The battle between Jiang Chen and the 2 of them was in full swing. However, at this moment, the entire treasure vault seemed to be trembling. Everyone's facial expression changed drastically and stopped fighting. However, it was already too late for them to avoid it. Everyone and the treasure vault had a 180-degree turn. They were buried under the boundless treasure vault and were almost crushed to death. This was not good news at all. Jiang Chen and the rest quickly regained their senses and realized that their surroundings were different from before. Warrior's Gate. Everyone's gaze landed on the 4 words in front of them. To be exact, there was a gate under the treasure vault, the Warrior's Gate. Could the legend be true? Lei Peng murmured. What legend? Yin Hun asked. Legend has it that under the Thunder Rush Sea, there was a huge country. Its former glory was on the Thunder Rush Sea, and there is a portal that allows one to enter a different dimension, called the Warrior's Portal. Legend has it that this country was once prosperous. If it wasn't for the fact that the Thunder Rush Sea's tides didn't recede and engulfed it, I reckon that there would have been even more legends, and their names would have been passed down for hundreds of generations. As for the Warrior's Gate, it existed forever. Even if the Great Kingdom was destroyed, the Warrior's Gate would still be there. However, after the kingdom was destroyed, it became an eternal mystery. Lei Peng said in a low voice. Everyone looked at the gray giant stone gate. There were lines of cryptic inscriptions on it, making people unable to understand them. Those words were suitable for a legend. The rough appearance of the inscription seemed to have been eroded by the wind and sand for countless years, filled with vicissitudes of time. On top of the Warrior's Gate, there was a drawing of a majestic dragon soaring in the 9 heavens. There was also a blurry silhouette, and the eyes of the dragon were always staring at the silhouette. Is there really a different space behind the Warrior's Gate? Or is there some unspeakable secret? Jiang Chen squinted his eyes. He did not know what kind of legend was behind it, but the Warrior's Gate had become a mystery in everyone's heart. No one dared to take a step forward. They were all worried about the secret behind the Warrior's Gate. I don't believe that there are demons and monsters behind the Warrior's Gate. Wei Chongqing of the Mu Yun sect sneered and walked towards the Warrior's Gate. The Mu Yun sect pushed the Warrior's Gate fiercely, but the Warrior's Gate did not open. Count me in. Xueqi of the Scorpio sect also rushed towards the Warrior's Gate. The two great Divine King Realm experts joined hands and used all their strength to push the Warrior's Gate open slowly. A faint light shot out from the Warrior's Gate. Only by squinting one's eyes could one see it clearly. It seemed to be a broken world. A burst of cold wind sounded. Wei Chongqing slowly took a step forward. Suddenly, a shadow of a divine dragon penetrated through Wei Chongqing's body and turned into nothingness. Wei Chongqing also slowly fell down. His entire body turned into sand and was blown away by the strong wind that was slowly blowing. Chapter 26:33. I'll lead the charge. Under the Warring States period, only death awaits. For the will of the king, charge. The god of war is invincible. Victory, the ultimate victory. Countless ear-splitting sounds appeared in the center of the brave warrior's gate. Wind and thunder flickered in the illusory and pale space. The surging waves were accompanied by a majestic heavy rain. Fierce warriors holding golden spears in their hands seemed to have descended from the sky. They stepped out of the brave warrior's gate. Those warriors had golden feathers on their heads and silver armors on their bodies. They rode on red horses and held halberds in their hands. Their eyes were red as if they could pierce through the heavens and earth. Their roars were thunderous and earth-shattering. Hundreds and thousands of warriors were like a magnificent army, their iron hooves trampling on the ground. It was terrifying. What's hiding behind the warrior's gate? No one knew. But the warrior's gate made everyone feel that it was a rare scene of a battlefield. It was full of blood and battle songs were resounding. On the armors, there were blades and swords, spears and blood, but there were no tears. Terrifying. These are the ones that came out from the warrior's gate. Li Peng took a deep breath. He was shocked by the scene in front of him. I'm afraid there's a powerful world behind the warrior's gate. Yin Hun's voice was solemn and trembling. Because they might become the sacrifice of the warrior's gate. I've never seen such a terrifying aura in my life. Long Xinghua murmured. That kind of shock and fear made her scalp numb. Kill! Kill! The battle cries were still shaking the heavens and the earth. Jiang Chen and the others could feel a great pressure. The group of brave warriors had all rushed out of the gate of warrior. Wherever they passed, not even a blade of grass could be seen. Murong Yun was the first to bear the brunt of the attack. Although it was just an illusion, those battle souls had the combat strength of a late heavenly god. Adding the resentment that they had accumulated for thousands of years, Murong Yun's soul was almost shattered by the aura when the army rushed out of the warrior's gate. Be careful. Dong Huang Taiji wielded his blade and stood in front of Murong Yun. However, the terrifying charging force of the countless fighting souls sent both Dong Huang Taiji and Murong Yun flying away. Both of them were severely injured. How is this the warrior's gate? This is clearly a world of battle souls that contains countless battle souls. Jiang Chen's expression was stern as he stared at the scene in front of him. In the blink of an eye, the countless fighting souls had already started to run amok in the space of the underground treasure. Such a terrifying fighting soul world. I'm afraid it will make people extremely afraid. I've never heard of it before. Hei Cha's expression changed, because they might have to face the chaos of the fighting spirit world. Taiji, Murong Yun, held Dong Huang Taiji's hand tightly. Dong Huang Taiji's expression was extremely ferocious as he was pierced through by 3 fighting souls just now. The pain was as terrifying as his bones and flesh being torn apart. Murong Yun's tears fell like rain. Even the corner of her mouth was filled with blood. However, at that moment, if Dong Huang Taiji did not act in time, Murong Yun would have died. The two of them hugged each other tightly. Dong Huang Taiji's figure also moved Jiang Chen. This is true love. Catch. Without hesitation, Jiang Chen threw 100 energy recovery pills to Dong Huang Taiji. Dong Huang Taiji was shocked. The value of 100 energy recovery pills was self-explanatory. More importantly, at this moment, these 100 energy recovery pills meant that he would have an endless recovery power. He was like an undefeatable god of war. Jiang Chen threw another bottle of energy recovery pills to Long Xinghua. Long Xinghua's eyes were filled with shock and excitement. Her beautiful eyes flickered with affection. This kindness was as deep as the sea. Go all out. These fighting souls are not simple. Jiang Chen shouted in a low voice. Dozens of battle souls rushed towards him. They were roaring and roaring, shaking the void and crushing everything in their way. The warrior's gate continued to expand. The number of fighting souls was terrifying. He might not be afraid if there were 10 of them. He might be able to handle 100 of them. But what if there were 1,000 or 10,000 of them? Even if Jiang Chen used the 5 elemental trigram fire formation to protect himself, he could not stop these fighting souls. Each and every one of the fighting souls were galloping like tigers. The feathers on their heads were domineering. They looked like strong yaks, like angry King Kong. Their aura was unparalleled and suffocating. The 5 elemental trigram fire formation continued to rise. However, Jiang Chen still could not stop the impact of the fighting souls. Jiang Chen could only defend himself. At this moment, thousands of fighting souls were galloping. The most terrifying one was Long Xinghua. Almost half of the fighting souls were rushing towards her. Long Xinghua was overwhelmed. Even though she was able to stand firm against these late heavenly god realm fighting souls, the impact of the fighting souls still made Long Xinghua feel suffocated. Wave after wave, even Jiang Chen sighed inwardly. Most of the battle souls seemed to have locked onto Long Xinghua. Divine Dragon Soul Manipulation Art. Long Xinghua used the Divine Dragon Soul Manipulation Art to fight against the fighting souls. Her sword was like a dragon, roaring and sweeping across the battlefield. Who knew that those scarlet-eyed fighting souls would become even more ferocious? Long Xinghua kept eating the energy recovery pills that Jiang Chen gave her, but it was still useless. The frenzied fighting souls rushed towards Long Xinghua like a moth flying into a flame, trying to kill her. Hundreds and thousands of fighting souls were annihilated together with Long Xinghua. At that moment, the Azure Dragon stopped moving and Long Xinghua was devoured by the fighting souls. Damn it! Jiang Chen frowned. At this moment, he had to save her. Donghuang Xueqi and Long Xiaotan were sworn brothers. The Eastern Emperor sect and the 9 Dragon Palace were on good terms. Jiang Chen could not just stand by and watch. Roar! Jiang Chen roared in anger. Under the dragon transformation, he was like a dragon emerging from the sea. This fella is really impressive. He's just a late heavenly god, but he's the one with the most strength among us. Yin Hun said with a gloomy expression. The fighting souls in front of him kept attacking his defense. He was getting more and more exhausted. After Jiang Chen used the dragon transformation, especially the roar of the dragon, all the fighting souls swarmed towards Jiang Chen. The ferocious and terrifying fighting souls were like thousands of horses galloping, as if they wanted to drown Jiang Chen. Chapter 26-34. Jiang Chen protected Long Xinghua. If it wasn't for him, Long Xinghua would have been dead by now. But even so, she was still severely injured. Her pretty face was pale and bloodless. She was protected by Jiang Chen and was on the verge of death. A divine king realm expert couldn't even withstand a single blow from these fighting souls. No one would have thought that these tens of thousands of battle souls would possess such an unparalleled aura. As they charged forward, they were invincible. Haha. Interesting. To think that all of these fighting souls are attacking Jiang Chen. Beautiful. Yin Hun said with a gloomy expression. At this moment, he finally heaved a sigh of relief. At this moment, Jiang Chen had become the focal point of all the fighting souls. All of them were attacking Jiang Chen without any leeway. Damn it. That was so close. I almost said goodbye to this world. He Cha said with lingering fear. If it wasn't for Jiang Chen becoming the focus of all the fighting souls, they wouldn't have such an easy time. Shit. If this continues, Jiang Chen will definitely die. Donghuang Taiji was extremely anxious. However, Jiang Chen was drowned by the thousands of battle souls. Jiang Chen's figure could not be seen at all. Thousands of battle souls, divine king experts, were all crushed in front of them. There was no room for negotiation. Long Xinghua never thought that Jiang Chen would risk his life to save her even though she had a normal relationship with him. Moreover, he had put her in an irrecoverable situation. Even though Long Xinghua had a heart of stone, she couldn't remain calm at this moment. That majestic figure was deeply imprinted in her mind. Long Xinghua was a peerless genius of the 9 Dragon Palace. At this moment, she had to rely on someone else to survive. This made her feel extremely bitter. Who would have thought that the fighting soul world would teach them a lesson? The Thunder Rush Sea was definitely not a good place. Motherfucker, why are you all attacking me? Jiang Chen gritted his teeth. But it was useless. Jiang Chen faced the endless stream of fighting souls from all directions. He was neither happy nor sad. However, even the 5 elemental trigram fire formation could not stop the attack of these fighting souls. Jiang Chen was also facing a formidable enemy. The heavens have opened their eyes. Hee, this kid is finally asking for humiliation. This fighting spirit world will be his grave. Lei Peng sneered. At this moment, Jiang Chen was being devoured by thousands of spirits. Even if he was an hierarch expert, he might not be able to escape from this calamity. Because the aura of these late heavenly god realm fighting spirits was enough to crush everything. This is called retribution. Ha ha ha, the result of trying to be a hero is death. If you want to play the hero and save the damsel in distress, you should first consider your own strength. He Cha did not forget to ridicule Jiang Chen. Now, those battle souls had completely drowned Jiang Chen. Why can't a good person live longer? Murong Yun gritted her teeth and grabbed Dong Huang Taiji's hand. Now they could not see Jiang Chen's figure anymore. The man who protected them from the wind and rain could not return to the past anymore. Murong Yun suddenly felt that the world was desolate and impermanence. Jiang Chen. Long Xinghua's eyes almost popped out of her eye sockets as she screamed. In front of her, Jiang Chen was engulfed by countless fighting souls and disappeared. Divine Golden Bell. Jiang Chen used the Eastern Emperor Bell as the base of the Divine Golden Bell and used the God Sealing Prohibition for the first time. Sure enough, although the Eastern Emperor Bell's dreadfulness could not be fully unleashed, the Divine Golden Bell was able to protect Jiang Chen perfectly. No matter how many fighting souls were attacking the Divine Golden Bell, they could not break it at all. Because the Divine Golden Bell was the foundation of the Eastern Emperor Bell. It was an actual existence and was not created by the Eastern Emperor Limitless Art. Jiang Chen's Divine Golden Bell was incomparable to the Eastern Emperor Sect's Divine Golden Bell. The difference between the two was like heaven and earth. Success. This Divine Golden Bell is really powerful. It should be able to withstand the attack of a hierarch realm expert. Jiang Chen was confident. The surrounding fighting souls wanted to engulf him, but Jiang Chen did not know what to do. Why do these fighting souls want to go against me? Even the fighting souls that attacked Dong Huang Taiji, Lei Peng and the others changed their target and attacked him. Jiang Chen could not figure it out, but he knew that there must be something wrong. Although Jiang Chen managed to block the fighting souls outside the Divine Golden Bell, it was still extremely difficult for him to break through the Divine Golden Bell. These damn fellas. Jiang Chen could not help shaking his head. Suddenly, Jiang Chen was shocked. He thought of the Great Yu Soul Forming Light in his hand. Although the Great Yu Soul Forming Light was not fully restored, it should be mostly restored. At this moment, why not take out the Great Yu Soul Forming Light and try to suppress these fighting souls? Jiang Chen took out the Great Yu Soul Forming Light from the myriad Qi cauldron. In an instant, the surrounding fighting souls became quiet. Jiang Chen could feel that the Great Yu Soul Forming Light seemed to be able to suppress these fighting souls. Good stuff. Haha, this Great Yu Soul Forming Light is interesting. Keep it. The Great Yu Soul Forming Light shone brightly and thousands of starlight shot out from the light. Wherever the starlight passed, all the fighting souls were sucked into the Great Yu Soul Forming Light. Thousands of fighting souls were shocked by the Great Yu Soul Forming Light. Although the Great Yu Soul Forming Light did not subdue these fighting souls quickly, Jiang Chen clearly understood how terrifying the Great Yu Soul Forming Light was. Moreover, the light from the Great Yu Soul Forming Light was becoming more and more dazzling. Good fella. Let me see how powerful you are. It seems that my efforts in nourishing the weapon soul in the myriad Qi cauldron were not in vain. Jiang Chen smiled confidently. Thousands of fighting souls were sucked into the Great Yu Soul Forming Light. At this moment, the Great Yu Soul Forming Light became incomparably excited. The Great Yu Soul Forming Light had already reached the level of an essence divine tool. Moreover, it was an extremely terrifying one. Moreover, the Great Yu Soul Forming Light had yet to be completely repaired. Under the nourishment of the myriad Qi cauldron and the thousands of fighting souls, Jiang Chen believed that the Great Yu Soul Forming Light was much more terrifying than what he had imagined. However, as long as the Great Yu Soul Forming Light was not restored, Bai Yunfei's soul would never be reborn. However, Jiang Chen believed that that day was not far away. Jiang Chen swept across the universe, unparalleled and unparalleled. Millions of war souls were nothing to him. Thousands of fighting souls. What can they do to me? Jiang Chen looked at the sky with disdain while holding the great Yu soul-forming light in his hand. His gaze was like a torch that was as bright as the stars in the sky. Everyone was dumbfounded and their expressions changed. Yin Hun and Lei Peng were all trembling in fear. Chapter 26:35. How are you going to fight against me? Dou Ling said coldly. His eyes were filled with killing intent. Don't be too arrogant. So what if you're from the Battle God clan? This is the Thunder Rush Sea, the Qilian region. Do you think you can overturn this place? Li Jingdong said proudly. He was not afraid of Dou Ling at all. The battle between them was getting more and more intense. The Li Jingdong brothers, Feng Xingli and Bai Qi, had completely suppressed Dou Ling. Dou Ling did not even have a chance to fight back. Even Li Jingdong was curious about what kind of technique made him so confident. Accept your death, Dou Ling. Feng Xingli approached Dou Ling again. The 5 mid-divine king realm experts fought against Dou Ling. However, Dou Ling looked calm without a trace of panic. Trash like you are worthless in my eyes. Dou formation technique activate. Wind and cloud transformation. Mahar immeasurable. Dou Ling's eyes were filled with anger as he looked at the heavens. The moment the Dou formation technique was used, the wind cloud spiritual absorption formation that he had set up was activated. The 5 of them were shocked. Who would have thought that Dou Ling, who was completely suppressed by them, could still turn the situation around? Moreover, the difference between heaven and earth had left them with no chance to defend themselves. Feng Xingli and Li Jingdong, who were in the wind cloud spiritual absorption formation, were shocked. The boundless spiritual absorption force seemed to be sucking away their souls, causing them to suffer unbearable pain. Their bodies were twisted and their faces looked hideous. The intense pain was more unbearable than having their bodies torn apart. Bai Qi was the most relaxed one among them. However, under the Dou formation technique, even a formation expert like him could not fight back at all. He could only hug himself. Fortunately, I have the soul-suppressing rock. Otherwise, I would have been sucked to death by your spirit-absorbing formation. Bai Qi had a lingering fear in his heart. While he was resisting the wind cloud spirit-absorbing formation, he was thinking about how to escape. At this moment, they had completely lost the initiative. What made Bai Qi feel despair was not Dou Ling's strength but his Dou formation technique. Under the amplification of the Dou formation technique, the wind cloud spirit-absorbing formation was no longer the same as before. Bai Qi knew that he could also set up this spirit-absorbing formation. However, with the amplification of the Dou formation technique, even if Bai Qi's strength was 2 levels higher than Dou Ling's, he might not be a match for him. Although Bai Qi coveted it very much, this was the secret of the Battle God clan. Moreover, the horror of the Dou formation technique was far beyond his imagination. The Dou formation technique was the supreme existence of the formation. This point, Bai Qi understood from the moment he started to learn the formation. Can't I just run if I can't beat you? Bai Qi held the spirit-suppressing stone in his hand. He had found this spirit-suppressing stone in a place where a powerful person had passed away. The spirit-suppressing stone could stabilize a formation and was not affected by the formation. It could be considered a rare treasure. It had the effect of being immovable in all 8 directions. Even in the face of the wind cloud spirit absorption formation with the help of the Dou formation technique, it was not affected at all. Damn it! This guy is too scary. He has set up this formation unknowingly. We can't escape. Feng Xingli's expression changed and his voice trembled. He could not help but cover his head. His face was completely distorted. He had been seriously injured by the wind cloud spirit absorbing formation. Li Jingdong was the same. He felt the fear of death. At that moment, no matter how many tricks they had, they could not turn the situation around. Mr. Bai, please save our lives. Li Jingnan said in a deep voice. His eyes were full of pleading. Compared to them, Bai Qi was more normal. At least, the wind cloud spirit absorbing formation did not defeat him. All right. Bai Qi's eyes lit up, but he did not care. He found the wind cloud absorbing spirit array's life gate and entered it alone. In an instant, he disappeared without a trace. It was already not easy for him to escape. It was no different from a fool's dream. Moreover, Bai Qi knew that if he wanted to save them, He would have to die here. Bastard. This guy ran away. No. I don't want to die. I can't die. The Tianxian sect will not let you go, Do Ling. You will be punished by the heavens. The Killing Luo sect swears to kill you. The four of them were sucked dry by the wind cloud-absorbing spiritual formation and turned into dried corpses. Everyone looked at Do Ling and took a deep breath. Do Ling frowned. This guy actually found the life door of the wind cloud spirit-absorbing formation and escaped. Moreover, he did it with the help of the Do formation technique. Not bad. It was a pity that the jade box was still in his hands. However, he only wanted this spine. This was his true goal. This was the relic of his ancestor. Do Ling did not even look at it. He walked towards the depths of the formation. He could feel a strong and overbearing aura coming from the depths of the formation. This guy from the Battle God clan is too scary. Dong Huang Xueqi looked solemn. Do Ling's figure had disappeared. Their side was also in a terrible situation. More than 10 of their elders were killed. Now, only he, Long Xiaotan, Ji Ningqi, Chu Tianshu and the young city lord Zi Shi were left. Apart from Zi Shi, all of them were severely injured. The rest of the elders were killed as well. As for Ying Chen, he was already on the verge of death. Long Xiaotan's eyes were bloodshot. He charged forward countless times, risking his life to injure Ying Chen. Under the siege of so many experts, Ying Chen was finally defeated. All of you deserve to die. All of you deserve to die. Ying Chen wailed. He knew that he would definitely die if he continued to fight. Ying Chen had no choice but to fly up to the sky. However, how could Long Xiaotan let him leave alone? Now that he could avenge Xiao Yu, Long Xiaotan would not hesitate to sacrifice his life to do so. Want to leave? Humph. It's not that easy. Ask me if I'm willing to do so first. Long Xiaotan was extremely determined. He clenched his teeth and his eyes were filled with radiance. With an imposing manner, he soared into the sky and clashed with Ying Chen, who was soaring into the sky. Brother Long. Dong Huang Xueqing's heart sank. He could feel Long Xiaotan's determination. He's probably going to perish together with Ying Chen. You lunatic. Don't drag me along if you want to die. Ying Chen felt a deep sense of fear. Long Xiaotan was determined to self-detonate as he tangled with Ying Chen. The two of them soared into the sky. The moment they reached the peak of the canyon, Ying Chen's face was covered with blood and sweat. Killing you can avenge me, Xiao Yu. I, Long Xiaotan, am satisfied. Ha! Ying Chen flew across the sky and Long Xiaotan chased after him. Finally, Long Xiaotan self-destructed and perished together with Ying Chen. Chapter 26-36. Brother Long. Dong Huang Xueqing's pupils shrunk and his face became extremely gloomy. Dong Huang Xueqing had expected this to happen, but he did not expect it to happen so soon. Especially when Long Xiaotan decided to self-destruct in order to perish together with Ying Chen. Dong Huang Xueqing's heart became cold and indifferent. Even though Ying Chen had died, he had killed countless experts. The experts of the 10 great sects were all killed. Even Feng Xingli and his brothers were not spared. Do Ling's strength was undeniable. Among them, only Dong Huang Xueqing, Zi Shi and Chu Tianshu were left. Dong Huang Xueqing was speechless facing Long Xiaotan's death. Perhaps this was his true destiny. When Long Xiaotan died fearlessly, he no longer had any regrets. Everyone has to die. It could be as light as a feather or as heavy as Mount Tai. His death is worthy of everyone and it's a worthy death. Otherwise, if we let Ying Chen escape, even if he's alive, he'll just be a corpse. What's the difference between him and a walking corpse? Chu Tianshu's words deeply provoked Dong Huang Xueqing. Dong Huang Xueqing smiled bitterly. He was too stubborn. No one knew better than him that Long Xiaotan's death should be celebrated. That guy from the Battle God clan has gone in. Let's not waste any more time. Jiang Chen and the others are still inside. Let's go. Things might change if we delay. Zi Shi said solemnly. He was the calmest one among them. Moreover, Jiang Chen and the others might be in the most dangerous situation right now. Jiang Chen's expression was extremely solemn as he looked at the gigantic shadow that was constantly shrinking and enlarging. In the blink of an eye, it had already appeared above the warrior's gate. On the back of the giant shadow, There were 8 claws that could be clearly seen. Like a long whip, it was filled with power. His huge eyes were wide open as he took a step forward. In the entire underground space, he had already disappeared. The entire underground space seemed to be trembling. Such a terrifying octopus. That guy's aura has already reached the peak of the mid-divine king realm. Most importantly, we don't know what's behind him. Is this a sea monster? This is the first time I've seen one. This 8-armed octopus is not simple. Why is his target only Jiang Chen? Even Jiang Chen was complaining incessantly. Who would have thought that this big guy wouldn't care about the others and would directly attack Jiang Chen? Why? Jiang Chen gritted his teeth in anger, but he had no way of knowing. You have the aura of the dragon tribe on you. Kill the dragon tribe without mercy. The 8-tentacled octopus monster said in a deep voice. Its 8 arms had completely blocked Jiang Chen's path. Jiang Chen had no choice but to avoid it. The 8-tentacled octopus monster was too powerful. If it wasn't for the great Yu soul-forming light, Jiang Chen would have been defeated by it. Jiang Chen and the 8-tentacled octopus fought fiercely for a long time, but they could not do anything to it. Even if it was a fighting soul and not its actual body, it was still abnormally strong. There must be an unparalleled treasure behind the warrior's gate. We can't wait any longer. In Hun said. That's what I was thinking. Let this guy fight with the octopus monster slowly. We can reap the benefits from it. Lei Peng sneered. Instead of fighting with Jiang Chen and the others, they might as well leave first. They had a premonition that there must be a treasure behind the warrior's gate. Then what are we waiting for? Haha, let this guy die here. Cha said coldly. Jiang Chen was being suppressed by the 8-tentacled octopus monster. In Cha's eyes, Jiang Chen would definitely die. Rumble. After a loud sound, Dou Ling broke through the shackles and jumped into the space of the underground treasure. His cold eyes swept across everyone, sending chills down their spines. Oh no, the elders are probably dead. In Hun's face turned ugly. Dou Ling's appearance meant that he had gotten rid of the elders. This showed that Dou Ling was not someone to be trifled with. This fella is too terrifying. I've long heard that the Battle God clan is a peerless clan. I'm afraid that the few elders are all dead now. Lei Peng was also anxious. Now that they've lost the protection of the elders, it would be hard for them to move a single step. Especially Dou Ling and Jiang Chen, they're not easy to deal with. Cha suddenly had an idea. His eyes lit up and he shouted, "The Dragon Ball is in his hands." Cha pointed at Jiang Chen, causing Dou Ling's attention to fall on Jiang Chen. Even though he knew that Cha and the others were trying to protect themselves, he still aimed at Jiang Chen. Hand over the Dragon Ball. Dou Ling stared at Jiang Chen and said, "How greedy. I've already given you the spine. You still want the item in my hands. You're really shameless." Jiang Chen sneered. He could give up on the spine, but he would never give up on the Dragon Ball. "You're courting death," Dou Ling Lang said as he rushed towards Jiang Chen with killing intent. "Quick, enter the Gate of Warrior," In Hun said. The 3 of them looked at each other and quickly entered the Gate of Warrior. Kill everyone from the Dragon Clan. The Kraken's hatred towards Jiang Chen was unparalleled. Jiang Chen finally understood that these fighting souls attacked him because he had the aura of the Dragon Clan. It seemed like the Gate of Warrior and the Dragon Clan were closely related. Under the pincer attack of the Kraken and Dou Ling, Jiang Chen did not have the strength to fight back at all. Either one of them could pose a great threat to him. Jiang Chen took each step carefully. He would have been defeated if it wasn't for the great Yu soul-forming light. "Jiang Chen, I'm here to help you," Dong Huang Taiji shouted. "Don't worry about me. Quickly enter the Gate of Warrior and don't let those fellas get it first. The good stuff must be behind the Gate of Warrior." Jiang Chen looked at Dong Huang Taiji. Dong Huang Taiji was extremely concerned about Jiang Chen's safety as he had become their backbone. Long Xinghua ate a few energy recovery pills and quickly followed Dong Huang Taiji. This was what Jiang Chen hoped for. Long Xinghua looked at Jiang Chen's messy back. She was still very confident in him. "I must survive," Long Xinghua muttered. Then, she resolutely stepped into the warrior's gate. "Give it to me. You're not worthy to have the Dragon Ball." Dou Ling shouted and stepped into the sky. His terrifying palms forced Jiang Chen to retreat. With the help of the 8-tentacled octopus, Jiang Chen was completely suppressed by the latter. "You want to kill me?" Let's see if you have the ability to do so. Jiang Chen roared in anger. The heavenly dragon sword was drawn and the roar of the dragon could be heard. The 8-tentacled octopus's pupil shrunk and his body trembled. He quickly retreated. Even though he was charging towards Jiang Chen, he was no longer as ferocious as before. Jiang Chen's dragon prestige was still suppressing him. However, Dou Ling was not afraid at all. Facing Jiang Chen's counterattack, Dou Ling's aura was surging. Jiang Chen was continuously forced to retreat. The scene was quite intense. Even though Jiang Chen was unparalleled in terms of offense and defense, he was still heavily injured by Dou Ling. Dou Ling's strength was suffocating. Be careful, Jiang Chen. Xueqi roared and charged towards Jiang Chen. Donghuang Xueqi did not want to be outdone and blocked the 8-tentacled octopus's attack. With Xueqi and Donghuang Xueqi's help, Jiang Chen became more and more skillful. Even Dou Ling was no longer able to deal with Jiang Chen and Xueqi together. Dou Ling squinted his eyes and sneered. You only know how to rely on others. This is your method, trash. Tear me apart first if you have the ability, Jiang Chen said with a dignified expression. I'll spare your life first. I'd like to see what's behind the gate of warrior. As he spoke, Dou Ling turned around and stepped into the warrior's gate. Chapter 26:37. Jiang Chen, are you all right? Xueqi said solemnly. Jiang Chen was heavily injured when he fought against Dou Ling. With the addition of the Kraken, he was in a disadvantageous position. I'm fine. Jiang Chen shook his head. Even if Dou Ling turned around and left, there was still another 8-tentacled octopus. Jiang Chen's aura did not diminish at all. The 4 of them surrounded the 8-tentacled octopus and quickly captured it. It was an invisible battle soul. Nobody could do anything to it. Only the great Yu soul forming light and the heavenly dragon sword in Jiang Chen's hands could make it fearful. Especially when the heavenly dragon sword was pressed down, the 8-tentacled octopus seemed to have seen something terrifying. Jiang Chen's sword was unconventional. Without Dou Ling, it was easy for him to deal with the Kraken. With the help of Xueqi and the others, the Kraken's battle soul was instantly destroyed by the heavenly dragon sword and was suppressed by the great Yu soul forming light. Tell me, what kind of place is this warrior's gate? Jiang Chen looked at the battle soul, Lang Lang, and said. He held the great Yu soul forming light in his hand and could devour it any time. So what if I turn into ashes? Ha ha ha. At most, I'll die. Anyway, the battle kingdom has been destroyed. What's the point of me living? The Kraken sneered. At the end of his sentence, his face was filled with bitterness and sorrow. You don't even have the right to choose death in my hands because I will make you wish you were dead. Do you believe that you'll be refined by the great Yu soul forming light for eternity? The feeling of living a life worse than death should be the most satisfying. Jiang Chen smiled faintly. The Kraken couldn't help but shiver. It looked at Jiang Chen with a gloomy face and roared furiously. You're a madman. Madman. The Kraken was infuriated. However, when he thought about being used as a lampwick to refine for eternity, he shuddered in fear. This fellow wasn't joking. The great Yu soul forming light was indeed terrifying. Say it. Tell me everything. Maybe I'll take your life. May you be reincarnated. Jiang Chen knew that the Kraken was not afraid of death. The battle kingdom that he was talking about might have already been destroyed. Since they were able to form their fighting souls, they were already indifferent to life and death. They were only left with remnant souls and the threat of death was not big. However, if the battle kingdom wanted him to be refined in the great Yu soul forming light, it would be worse than death. What do you want to know? The Kraken said. What is the Warring States? Jiang Chen asked. This place should be called the Thunder Rush Sea. If I'm not wrong, this should be the same name. A long time ago, the Thunder Rush Sea wasn't here, and this place was just the coastal area. The Thunder Rush Sea is our mother sea. On this fertile land, there used to be a great country called the Warring States. Above the Warring States, there was a vast territory with millions of people. From the birds and beasts in the forest, to the ferocious beasts in the mountains, to the floating creatures in the sea, to the dragon god in the water, all of them worship here. The ruler of the Warring States, majestic in all directions, none dare to disobey. When the Kraken was talking about the Warring States, it waved its 8 claws excitedly. What a majestic in all directions. None dare to disobey. Jiang Chen could imagine that from the birds and beasts in the forest, to the ferocious beasts in the mountains, to the floating creatures in the sea, to the dragon god in the water, all of them worship here. The majesty of the warring states has existed since ancient times. I've read about it once in the ancient books of the Eastern Emperor sect. There was the warring states in the south and the Eastern Emperor in the west. The Eastern Emperor sect was full of legends. The ruler of the Eastern Emperor sect was on par with the ruler of the Thunder Rush Sea warring states. Dong Huang Xueqi sighed and said, after the warring states was destroyed, the Eastern Emperor sect became dispirited and no longer had the glory of the past. Indeed, the only one that could compete with the warring states was the Eastern Emperor sect. The Kraken lowered its head and said, then why was the warring states destroyed? Xueqi was also very curious and continued to ask. Because of a person. To be exact, it was because of a dragon. Jiang Chen was shocked. The eldest of the 9 sons of the dragon, Xueqi? The Kraken looked at Jiang Chen in shock. You know about it? It's just a guess. Jiang Chen shook his head. But his guess was right. It was indeed Xueqi. The existence of the Dragon Ball proved that the Ice Sea Divine Dragon Palace was indeed Xueqi's dojo. In the past, the daughter of the ruler of the warring states, Princess Bingying, fell in love with someone. Although he was not famous, he was infatuated with Princess Bingying. He was good at music, chess, calligraphy and painting. He was quite talented in literature. Although the ruler of the warring states was not satisfied with him, he could not do anything about it. However, after the warring states went to war, they found out that this son-in-law was a dragon among men. He wore a battle armor and was invincible. He led the lion of the warring states and millions of mercenaries to rule the lone dragon county. Gradually, this son-in-law became the pillar of the warring states. The Kraken suddenly changed its tone and said, that's right. However, on a night when tsunamis rose one after another, 9 azure dragons arrived in the sky, overturning rivers and seas, and lightning flickered. The waves of the Thunder Rush Sea drowned half of the warring states. Millions of people died. The tsunami was like a purgatory on earth. They were only looking for one person, the eldest of the 9 sons of the dragon, Xueqi. The emperor's son-in-law who fought for our warring states' kingdom was Xueqi. Because of him, the entire warring states was destroyed. Under the rage of the 9 azure dragons, the warring states was swallowed by the 3,000-li river of the Thunder Rush Sea. That was the beginning of the destruction of the warring states. Xueqi. I never thought that the eldest of the 9 sons of the dragon, Xueqi, would be the son-in-law of the warring states. This is really shocking. The destruction of the warring states was caused by the 9 azure dragons? Jiang Chen said. Humph. The 9 azure dragons were just a prelude. The one who truly changed everything was Xueqi. He wanted to obtain a map from the Battle Kingdom's king for his own selfish desires. He set up such a shocking plan, which led to the destruction of the Battle Kingdom. Xueqi and the 9 azure dragons are not good people. All the dragon clan are bastards. The Kraken roared in a deep voice. Obviously, it was extremely angry towards Xueqi and the 9 azure dragons. It was also extremely resentful towards the dragon clan. Otherwise, all the fighting souls wouldn't have gathered towards Jiang Chen after he casted the dragon transformation. It's reasonable to say that. What is going on with this warrior's gate? This warrior's gate was set up by Xueqi to seal the people of the Battle Kingdom. The king of the Battle Kingdom was severely injured by the 9 azure dragons. Everyone believed that it was true and hid inside the warrior's gate. However, Xueqi didn't manage to open the warrior's gate at the last moment. Countless people of the Battle Kingdom were trapped inside the warrior's gate and died. In the end, the king of the Battle Kingdom refused to obey and was killed by the 9 azure dragons. Millions of people of the Battle Kingdom weren't spared. They either died inside the warrior's gate or were annihilated by the waves. Chapter 26:38. Jiang Chen frowned. He knew a little about the grudge between the 9 sons of the dragon and the dragon clan. Jiang Chen found it hard to believe that Xueqi colluded with the dragon clan to plot against the warring states' kingdom. Although the 9 sons of the ancestral dragon were extremely cruel, Xueqi was an exception. He specialized in music and did not like to fight. Moreover, the dragon clan had never acknowledged the existence of the 9 sons of the ancestral dragon. Because of this, even though they were the sons of the ancestral dragon emperor, they did not receive any special treatment. They were considered as evil dragons outside the dragon clan. However, Jiang Chen did not know the truth. He could only enter the Warrior's Gate and find out the truth. What is the map that you're talking about? Is it worth it for the Dragon Clan to come out, the 9 elders of the Dragon Clan and Xueqi to fight for it? Jiang Chen was extremely curious about the map in the hands of the Lord of the Warring States Kingdom. It might be the real treasure. I don't know. However, my lord did not give the map to the Dragon Clan until his death. The Kraken said in a deep voice. It seemed like it was still loyal to the Lord of the Warring States Kingdom. So behind the Warrior's Gate, there's a big world? Xueqi inhaled a breath of cold air. It's a big world, but it's a broken world. It's impossible for anyone to live in there. This Warrior's Gate is the gate of hell to us. Xueqi not only brought us death, he brought us despair. A whole country of the Warring States Kingdom was annihilated. Tell me, how can we forgive him? The people of the Dragon Clan are all worthless. One could imagine the rage in the Kraken's heart. A broken world. This is the first time I've heard of it. Xueqi's expression became solemn. He had never heard of it before. This world was a parallel world. Even a spatial divine tool was extremely precious, let alone an independent world. I'd like to see what kind of world is behind the Warrior's Gate. Jiang Chen's eyes lit up as he stepped into the Warrior's Gate. When Jiang Chen took a step forward, the whole world seemed to have undergone a tremendous change. The mountains, rivers, grass, and trees were all withered. Yellow sand filled the sky, and dark clouds covered the sky. This was a world that was filled with hatred and resentment. One could not see the end of the world. Tall mountains, ancient trees turned into ashes. Water flowed for 1,000 miles. Dried bones were piled up and demon spirits were everywhere, numbering in the tens of thousands. Those are the demon spirits of the sea monsters. The Kraken said in a deep voice. Jiang Chen saw countless demonic spirits. There were true God Realm, Heavenly God Realm and Divine King Realm demonic spirits. There were quite a few of them. It was extremely desolate and tragic. I will expiate those thousands of fighting souls. Although the great soul-forming light devoured them, it does not mean that I will refine all of them. The Kraken was slightly stunned by what Jiang Chen said. Jiang Chen's words touched him the most. They had been dead for thousands of years, but they could not reincarnate in the Warrior's Gate. It was like a prison of death. Jiang Chen's words made him feel warm. If you can expiate all the people of the Battle Kingdom, we will remember your kindness forever. The Kraken stared at Jiang Chen with a serious expression. If I have the ability, I will do my best. Jiang Chen knew that the Warrior's Gate was not simple, especially when he could not see through the Warrior's Gate. Xueqi, Donghuang Xueqing and Chu Tianshu were the same. How big is this broken world? Donghuang Xueqing asked. I don't know because I have never reached the end of it. I believe many people are the same as me. The Kraken's answer once again shocked Jiang Chen and the others. Infinitely great? This statement was a little hard to accept. The Warrior's Gate might be very big, but it was obviously unrealistic to say that it was infinitely big. Roar! Roar! A roar reverberated through the mountain peak. The people who were far away were shocked. Yin Hun and the others quickly retreated. There was only a young man on the mountain peak, looking down at the living beings under the dark clouds. That's the Saint Soul Mountain. It's the place where the princess of the Battle Kingdom, Princess Bingying, was buried. Princess Bingying was too ashamed to face the people of the Battle Kingdom and her father. She burned her fighting soul and buried herself in the Saint Soul Mountain. Now that I think about it, Princess Bingying was also a bitter person. The Kraken said in a low voice. Saint Soul Mountain? This Douling seems to have chased everyone down from the Saint Soul Mountain. Jiang Chen murmured. This fella is too arrogant. To think that he chased us down. There must be something wrong with this mountain. He Cha said while gritting his teeth. Although he was dissatisfied, they couldn't fight against Douling even if they joined hands. Calm down, don't be rash. Although this fella is despicable, he's not worthy for us to use our trump card. Since that fella from the Eastern Emperor sect is not easy to deal with, and there's also the young city lord of the prefecture. Now that the elders have disappeared, we can only rely on ourselves. Yin Hun said in a low voice. I wonder what Douling is trying to do. Lei Peng was puzzled. Douling was on the Saint Soul Mountain, but he didn't know where to start. Instead, he kept walking around as if he was looking for something. On the Saint Soul Mountain, Douling's eyes lit up as he murmured, Divine Ancestor, I can feel your presence. Back then, You couldn't escape and was trapped in the Warrior's Gate. The entire Battle God clan mourns for you. As soon as Dou Ling finished his words, the spine in his hand started to tremble. Dou Ling could feel that it was the aura of the divine ancestor of the Battle God clan. He couldn't be wrong. Back then, the divine ancestor of the Battle God clan couldn't escape from the Warrior's Gate even with his peerless technique. However, he managed to send the news back to the Battle God clan. The Saint Soul Mountain was suppressed by Qiu Niu and sealed the 9 heavens and 10 earths. Even an Emperor Realm expert might not be able to break the seal. Therefore, you must use the blood of the Dragon Clan and the energy in my spine as support. Only under the guidance of the blood of the Dragon Clan can the seal of the Saint Soul Mountain reach its lowest level. Only then, you can break the seal of the Saint Soul Mountain and refine Princess Bingying's divine bone. The map is hidden in her divine bone. The Lord of the Battle Kingdom is famous and arrogant. However, I still found the map in the end. Humph. The voice in the spine had a hint of a sneer as it said indifferently. Divine Ancestor is wise. Dou Ling said respectfully. It's a pity that I have been dead for more than 10,000 years. In order to leave behind this spine and break Qiu Niu's seal, my divine soul has been exhausted. I must bring this map back to the Battle God clan. With this spine and the heaven-defying map, I might be able to be reborn. Chapter 26:39. Dou Ling looked at the entrance of the Warrior's Gate and looked at Jiang Chen. At that moment, he could feel the dragon aura from Jiang Chen. Although Jiang Chen was powerful under the dragon transformation, he was still weaker than Dou Ling. Especially at this moment, Dou Ling needed Jiang Chen's blood urgently. Blood of the Dragon Clan, I'll use you as a sacrifice to the spine of our divine ancestor. Dou Ling charged towards Jiang Chen like a shooting star. Jiang Chen raised his blade and clashed with Dou Ling. Even Xueqi and the others were shocked. Dou Ling was too terrifying. He managed to defeat the elders of the Killing Luo sect and the Heavenly Profound sect with his mid-divine king strength. Even the formation demon Bai Qi was defeated by him and escaped. Dou Ling's attack was unstoppable. His monstrous might swept across the world. Even Jiang Chen could only retreat in order to advance. His heavenly dragon sword swept across the battlefield and fought with Dou Ling. However, Dou Ling was too overbearing and his strength was much stronger than Jiang Chen. This caused Jiang Chen to be suppressed by Dou Ling under the dragon transformation. And this was before Dou Ling unleashed his Dou formation technique. Jiang Chen advanced step by step. Even though Dou Ling was powerful, Jiang Chen was just testing the waters. He did not have a real life and death battle. Dou Ling found an opportunity and slashed Jiang Chen's body. A drop of blood was held tightly in Dou Ling's hand. Dong Huang Xueqi and Chu Tianshu joined hands to fight against Dou Ling. Dou Ling was forced to face the three of them again. However, Dou Ling did not want to continue fighting and quickly returned to the Saint Soul Mountain. Dong Huang Xueqi and Chu Tianshu wanted to chase after him but they were stopped by Jiang Chen. He has set up the Heavenly Lightning Rainstorm formation in the Saint Soul Mountain. Be careful and don't get close. Jiang Chen squinted his eyes and said, This fella seems to have other intentions. Xueqi said, This sacred soul mountain is the burial ground of Princess Bingying. This bastard must be planning something against Princess Bingying. The Kraken said in a deep voice. Princess Bingying. Jiang Chen murmured. Dou Ling had already flown up to the Saint Soul Mountain but they were blocked by the Heavenly Lightning Downpour formation. It was obvious that he didn't want Jiang Chen and the others to enter the Saint Soul Mountain. Dou Ling dripped Jiang Chen's blood onto the Sacred Soul Mountain and activated the spine of the Divine Ancestor. At that moment, the entire Sacred Soul Mountain started to shake. How is this possible? The Holy Soul Mountain has never experienced such an earthquake in millions of years. What does this bastard want to do? The Kraken said in a trembling voice. You must stop this bastard. This is the immortal burial ground of the Princess of the Warring States. No one can invade it. It's too late. Xueqi shook his head and said. The Holy Soul Mountain had already begun to collapse. The mountain was collapsing. The majestic mountain ridge was also breaking bit by bit. The Holy Soul Mountain seemed to have been split in half. Dou Ling's eyes lit up. He was finally going to succeed. He couldn't wait any longer. Roar. Accompanied by a furious dragon roar, the entire sky seemed to be covered in thunder and rain. It was as if there were endless grievances and indignation that had no place to vent. The milky white halo and the rainbow light in Dou Ling's hand clashed against each other, as if they were trying to suppress each other. Open! Dou Ling activated the divine ancestor's spine once again. A seven-colored ray of light shot through the Saint Soul Mountain. A golden light rose from the mountain ridge like a bamboo shoot after the rain. It broke free from the shackles and shot out from the mountain ridge. It was a beautiful lady wearing a golden jade dress. Her eyes were closed and there was no sign of life, but her radiance was unparalleled. Princess Bingying. It's Princess Bingying. Bastard, you'll die a horrible death. The Kraken said in a trembling voice. He was right. This was Princess Bingying's immortal burial ground. Such a mystical immortal burial ground. Is this lady the princess of the Warring States? Jiang Chen sighed. This lady's beauty was unparalleled. It's rare in this world. Moreover, her body was incomparably mystical, as if there was some kind of magical power. The entire Sacred Soul Mountain shook the moment Princess Bingying's divine body was taken out. Dou Ling tried his best but he couldn't suppress the shaking of the Sacred Soul Mountain. In the end, it was the spine of the divine ancestor that completely suppressed the collapsing Sacred Soul Mountain. The earth-shattering sound also gradually disappeared. Such a peerless immortal body. The divine ancestor said that the Atlas is in her body. Looks like I'll have to refine it. Dou Ling's lips curled up as he used the three true fire to refine Princess Bingying's divine body. Rumble. Deafening galloping sounds resonated throughout the heavens and earth as countless fighting souls shuttled through the empty space and charged towards the Sacred Soul Mountain. No. The Kraken's roar shook the heavens, but it was already too late. Those battle souls continued to attack the Sacred Soul Mountain, but under the heavenly lightning downpour formation, lightning struck down from the sky, turning those battle souls into ashes. It was as if the end of the world had come. The eight-tentacled octopus's roar was like a great bell, but it was still unable to stop the countless battle souls. In order to save Princess Bingying, countless battle souls were annihilated by the lightning. The heavenly lightning rumbled and was deafening. Looks like we have to take action, Jiang Chen said in a low voice. So many battle souls were struck by the heavenly lightning rainstorm formation. Moreover, it was a strike of despair. They would never be able to reincarnate. The moment they were struck by the heavenly lightning rainstorm formation, it was an incomparable pain for these battle souls. They were supposed to be reborn, reincarnate and enjoy the life of the heavens and earth. But they were trapped in the warrior's gate. In the end, their battle intent turned into nothing and they became battle souls. Jiang Chen had the great Yu Soul forming light in his hand. At least he could help them transcend. But the rumbling lightning was their world. No matter how powerful the battle souls were, they would still turn into ashes. Great Yu Soul forming light, go! Jiang Chen threw out the great Yu Soul forming light. Countless battle souls were sucked into the great Yu Soul forming light by Jiang Chen. The Kraken looked at Jiang Chen gratefully. At least, compared to being unable to reincarnate, Jiang Chen's great Yu Soul forming light would allow them to avoid the pain of having their souls destroyed in their next life. The great Yu Soul forming light absorbed a large number of battle souls. But there were still a lot of battle souls that were turned into ashes at the foot of the Sacred Soul Mountain. Humph! You think too highly of yourself. Dou Ling sneered. Under the refinement of the three true fire, Princess Bingying's body started to shine brightly. I'm finally going to get my hands on the map that will shock the world. The light in Dou Ling's eyes became brighter and brighter. Finally, when Jiang Chen soared into the sky, an ancient scroll was refined by the three true fire from Princess Bingying's divine body. The scroll was opened up and countless ancient words were written on it. It was filled with mysterious phantoms. God Luo's scripture. Jiang Chen's pupils shrunk. He finally knew what kind of treasure this map was that even the Dragon Clan coveted. You're tuning in to the Xueqi's Martial Arts Saga YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.